Alright. After all that, after a bunch of shit happened, I am finally ready to go live. Hoy. Alright. Let me make sure that everything posted on social media. I need a throat lozenge for my throat. There we go. No, don't refresh the fucking thing. Copy link to post, close this, open up that, go to here. Post this in here. Go down to here. Here we go. Done. Close all that. And now we wait. Ooh. Hi, Tegan. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. You don't have to wait, Gata. I'm here now. Yes, the hell, Tegan. It is true. The one that we've all been waiting for. This might be a little TMI. I'm gonna take my shirt off, actually. I've sat down and I've realized, man, it is hot in this house. It is hot in this house. Summer has begun for us Floridians, which means that my shitty-ass house with a tin roof is gonna be turning into an oven very shortly. Actually, tank top time? No, I don't wear tank tops. I just free those nipples. Where's my fan control app? Here we go. Let me go ahead and get my fan going so my computer stays a relatively decent temperature. Due to the needs of my Ethernet, the only corner of the house where I can... No, I don't want to update this right now. I don't want to give you money. I want to put the fan on to about 40%. Just a low start. We shouldn't need much more than that. Good. All right. Chat is not updating. No tank tops. There we go. Now it's updating. No, I don't wear tank tops out and about. When I'm in the house, if I'm hot enough to not want to wear a regular t-shirt, I just go shirtless. There's no real need for anything else. Kiwi says, I may or may not wear tank tops year-round. I mean, to each their own. I'm not a tank top girly myself. I don't feel they work with me. Like, down to -40. Okay, well, that's ridiculous. That's just silly. At that point, it's not victim blaming. It's just, wow, yeah, okay. You probably shouldn't be doing that. All right. Unfortunately, soon, very soon, I'm going to have to tinfoil the windows. Put tinfoil on the windows to seal off the house and reflect some of the temperature back out, the sunbeams back out into the world. Jessica hates it because she's correct. It makes us look very trashy. We live in a trailer, and then we tinfoil over the windows. Jessica's like, oh God, we live in a drug den. I'm like, yeah, we don't make any money from the drugs, so what's the point of it? Hopefully in a year or so, we'll be moving out of this place. Fingers crossed. What are we all doing this morning for the rest of y'all, though? Is it as hot here as it is there? Or are you dealing with nicer weather, worse weather? What are you doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? God, I've been so sick. I've been sick as a dog. Not as bad as Jessica. Jessica's been sick. And obviously Toffee's had her surgery, so like it's just been... Did I say Sunday? It's Thursday. I know it's Thursday. Why did I say Sunday? I'm not doing too hot, chat. Oh dear. Susie says, I wish tinfoiling the windows worked here. I can feel the heat coming through the brick wall in my room. Yeah, no, the structure and how it is made heavily requires you to think through how you're going to beat the heat. And for y'all in Europe with your brick houses, like, yeesh, good fucking luck. You sure fucking did say Sunday. I've been sick. I know I don't, my hydrate redeem, it should be up. Let me just do that now. I've got me a bunch of Gatorades. I've got my Walgreens brand severe cooling throat drops with menthol. I slept in. I've taken medicine. I should be good to go. We've missed 2 weeks already. I refuse to miss a third, even if it's a shorter stream. We're going to dig some of this hole, all right? We're going to do it. Let me double check my... I just drank some and popped a lozenge in, so I'm not going to drink Gatorade on top of this mint lozenge. But we'll retroactively say that made sense for the drink I just did. Thank you, Kiwi. Make sure my wife isn't messaging me. All right, let's play some fucking Hightail. Let's dig some fucking hole. Let's go for it. Howdy, farmhands, and welcome to the stream. My name is Gata, and welcome to day 4 of our Dig for Dog fundraiser. Toffee is my precious little dachshund who has gone in for surgery. She has gone in for surgery. She is out of surgery. We have the final bill, and everything is going to be covered thanks to the wonderful, wonderful generosity of the people who have joined us for stream previous. As you can see from the bar above, we have in fact hit our final goal, our final, well, almost final, our original goal, and there's only one more milestone left. I verbally promised during the first stream, if we reach $2,000, a number that I thought we wouldn't even get close to, I would then dedicate myself to taking as much cobblestone as I could generate to build a 64 by 64 by 64 floating cube in the air. This is a nightmare that we are this close, but until I finish digging the original hole, I cannot take any of this shit down. So unfortunately, I am still at y'all's mercy. Why are you telling me to check your mailbox? Check my mailbox? What? Why am I... Oh, I do in fact have a letter. I wonder who it's from. Grand Bridge. Dearest Haytail resident, we are happy to announce that the Northwest Bridge is officially open for business. For bridgeness, as if you would. No need to watch for falling planks left by our rather forgetful crew while keeping your feet dry. Head over to the future location of the Castle and Lava Spa Resort. Feel free to visit the dinosaurs while you are there. And please be careful on the stairs. Signed, the Demonic Construction Authority, the DCA. Well then. Click it again, says chat. My mailbox is empty. Nope. Just the one. Just the one letter. Well, that's interesting. I don't have time for that today. But, oh, let me turn this shit off. There we go. Much better. Much better. Well, that's nice to know. There's going to be a spa up north. If you have multiple letters, they don't all come out at once. I see. Let's head over to where the hole is so I can show you what we've been working on. I almost fell down that. I almost fell down that. But yes. I cannot finish the stream, cannot finish the donathon or whatever, until we hit bedrock properly. Oh, and look at all this. There's a whole bunch of extra chests over there since I was last here. It has been a couple of weeks for me. I have not logged in pretty much since the day after we last streamed. The cult-ish salt circle is still here. Good. I still have a bunch of salt blocks around my bed. That's good. Let's sleep the night away real quick, like. While we're waiting, let me show you the good girl, the one you've all been here waiting for. All right, I gotta get. No. Hold on, Toffee. I need you to get back in your bed. I need you to back it up, puppy. Can you back it up a little further? There we go. Everyone, say hello to the cone dog. The cone dog, as you can see, is a little loopy, but she's doing good. She's had all her meds. She's on some of the strong stuff. They ended up, yep, here's Toffee. Here she is. She goes, oh, I heard my name. I heard my name. Are you gonna pet me? What are you doing, Dad? I don't understand. Hi, baby girl. Let me do this. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, oh, she's pushing. She's caught the camera in her cone. There we go. Oh, what a good shot. What a good baby. She looks so sad, but she's actually doing really good. I'm not gonna show you her incisions on purpose because they have a little dried blood on them, and some people are queasy about that. But she's all good. She's all stitched up. She's got medicines to keep her comfy. The biggest problem is that she has a cone on, and she's not a big fan of the cone. Also, Mom and Dad keep getting mad at her when she tries to jump on things, and she's like, but jumping on things is what dachshunds do. I don't understand. Why all of a sudden am I not allowed? So, last night, we had a really rough night. Because the first night, she was completely and totally zonked out on her meds, right? So, like, she went to bed, she went into the bed, and she stayed there all night. That's fine. Last night was her first night with a little more prescience to her, I guess is the word I want to use. Hi, puppy girl. So she wanted to get up and down and, like, go do things during the night. And every time she starts moving around, my wife would kick me awake and be like, get your daughter. She cannot jump down. So I would be the one who had to pick her up, take her down, wait for her to get her drink or whatever, come back to go to the bed, and then pick her back up and put her back in the bed. So that's half the reason why I ended up sleeping in by quite a bit last night. Sorry about that, guys. Hello, Dragon. Welcome in. Welcome in. I feel like I did something a little silly, stupid last time. Is this... Hold on a second. I want to check something out. Well, hello? The fuck was that? There was an explosion, and I don't know from whence it came. Okay. Yeah, so this section needs to be cut down as well. Oh. Well, that might have something to do with it. There's a boom boy over here. Hello. Goodbye. It's okay, you're sick. Not me, I'm at work. Yeah. I am a little sick. Beautiful wife and I were both... Well, she officially had COVID. I was ill and testing negative while my beautiful wife... Oh, am I in creative? Oh, shit. I did not mean to be in creative when stream started. I did have to do some testing of stuff with the update. Okay, much better. Much better. Phew! So that couldn't have hurt me anyway, because I was invincible, and I didn't realize it. Oh, dear. But yeah, so I was sick conveniently while my wife was testing positive for COVID, but I never tested positive for COVID. So, like, I never had it, air quotes, but I'm pretty sure I have it, and that's probably why I'm feeling a little iffy today as well. As for what's going to be broken with the update, I didn't get a chance to actually test any mods. Mostly I was making sure that the server wasn't going to crash, because one of the updates they did for Hytale is supposedly, going forward, they will allow us to use specific versions of the game. And I wanted to make sure that the server itself didn't need to be updated to match it. Because even though I'm running version 4.0, which is what the server is running, I'm running it after downloading a bunch of shit to the launcher. So I was like, that's suspicious, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I flew around for a bit just to make sure that loading in chunks wouldn't blow things up. It's easier for me to teleport myself if I'm already opt in game via the console if something goes wrong. So that was the reasoning why. And then my dumbass didn't press the button again before I started streaming. So, oops. Oopsie poopsie. All right, so you have to go, but you are just out of my reach. Yeah, it's just out of my reach. All right, I'm just gonna dig this way. I think what I was doing last time was I was finishing that wall all the way down, and I was gonna come back up and do this, which I guess I'll stick to. The testing of the mods is going to take place when I next have a free time, which is going to be a while. You guys want to hear about some work shit that I'm dealing with? I can't give details because of the nature of my job, which every time I say the nature of my job, it makes it sound significantly more salacious than it is. I'm just responsible for, like, a lot of money for certain periods of my life, as in I legally cannot leave the building amounts of money until someone else takes over. So, we've had some people leave, not for bad reasons, right? One of my besties received the chance to train for a different position elsewhere in the company. And they were like, I want to take this. This is kind of what I want. I want to move up in a different angle. Like they want to go to a different branch because they feel like they've done all they can at this branch, which is perfectly fine. Technically speaking, I'm already as promoted as one can get without someone else dying first. Like, there are maybe 2 or 3 people between me and the owners of the business, which is not really a flex as much as it is, like, just to give you context for how there is no upwards mobility. Me and my buddy have both kind of reached the ends of it unless certain people actually pass away. And they were like, I want to move up in a different branch. So, unfortunate for us, but don't worry about it, because we already have 2 people who are in training being prepared to do that job. So we're going to be able to, like, replace them relatively easily. I mean, replace in a positive connotation, right? Like, they left with the understanding that we would only be shorthanded from their leaving for a little bit. Like, there was someone on the way to take that spot. So, unfortunately, right after that friend left, another person said, hey, I've been offered a position at a different company, which is technically more money, and also they have better chances for moving upwards. Well, I guess you can say that. They got offered a job with a bank, like straight up with a bank, sought them out and was like, hey, we see you have this experience, that experience. We would like you to come work with us. And guy was like, it's objectively more money, so I'm gonna take it. And we're like, you know what? We can't fault you for that. It's gonna be even tighter than when the first person left a week ago. But again, we have 2 up and comings. So, like, it should be okay. You just gotta be a skeleton crew for a little bit, okay? This happened over a month ago. The first new person ghosted us entirely. They went through the process, they paid money to get, like, their legal licenses to do the job. Like, they were, like, ready to go, and then they just went dead silent. At some point, we did get confirmation they no longer wanted the position, but it's like, dude, come on, all right? So we had one guy in the lurch for a couple of weeks. Another person completed everything, got in, worked their first shift, said, nah, man, this ain't for me, and just never came back. Just never came back. Which is their right. I'm not gonna say, this could be a problem. I should not have done that. Oh well. Especially with my, well, I have more pickaxes on me, so it's not the end of the world, but still. In this economy, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, guy, girl, like, you don't owe us anything. Like, you don't owe corporate anything. But, like, at least have some basic human decency. Come on. Anyway, so that meant we were officially in the lurch. Good news, you have a new place for all this cobble you're getting. Thank you, Tegan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. So that sucks, but it's like, well, we're doing fine. We're doing like, we are stretched to our maximum with how many people we physically have. It's becoming less, do I call out when I am sick? Or it's less, do I call out if I am sick? More, can I justify calling out? Am I sick enough to justify every other person on my shift having a bad day? Does that make sense? I probably should have done, yeah. All right. So that sucks. But then, because we're torn so tightly, someone went on a vacation, and it was a week-long vacation. And it was a vacation they've been approved for before everything went to shit, right? This is gonna suck, but okay. Down we go. Ow. So everyone bent over backwards to make sure this person still got their vacation. Like down to like the hour, we were trying to figure out how to make sure there was people around for what is legally required for us to have because of how much money our job deals with. This person called out the day before their vacation, which is already like, Jesus Christ, you know better. There's no reason for that. Like, come on now. We're already doing everything we can to get you... Whoops. Oh, okay. So if you're attached to a ladder and it breaks, you lose all connection to the ladder. I assumed I was standing on the ladder when we fall down one block. Okay. So already that was pretty shitty. They're gone for 7 days. On the 8th day, the day that they are supposed to be returning to work, and the day that, like, finally all the people who had worked, some of them for 7 days straight, are going to get a chance to not work, this person is back. They try to call out again. They try to call out so they would have a 9-day vacation. Only 7 of those days were approved. And the manager on call told them straight up, like, listen, man, you can't be doing this to us. Like, we are all stretched as far as we possibly can. Like, no, you are scheduled today to work. You cannot do this. You have to come in, even if it's, like, late, even if it's... I think I gotta go 2 blocks back. Yeah, that seems right. So 1, 2... So here. There we go. And the person who left said, oh yeah? Well, what if I just don't come back ever because you're disrespecting me? And it's like, buddy, we're not disrespecting you. We're working on a skeleton crew and you left with the femur. Like, we have 3 more new people in the pipeline, so it's not like the end of the world. This is not going to be forever. But for me personally, I'm exhausted. It's probably half the reason why I got sick, and I can't really afford to get sick due to how short-staffed we are. Tegan says, well, I'll come work. Honestly, Tegan, let me fly down there. Yeah. Hopefully, like, the rest of the crew is already pulled tight, but it's in a way where, like, everyone knows that everyone is suffering, so we're all doing our best for each other. Pardon me. It's just been a rough time. That can describe, like, half of my life recently. It's just been a rough time. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. But we're getting through it. We're getting through it. Where'd Toffee get off to? She toddled off. Oh, she's getting water. All right. One moment. I gotta crunch the Lessless Lodgins. Ah, delicious. The worst part is when you have a day off, but it's not really a day off, you know? Like, it's a day you're not at work, but you're not able to rest because of how much at work you've done when you're not on your day off. For me, I think I mentioned this on stream before, but Beautiful Wife, their coworker had to go on maternity leave early. So for the last month, let me just swap that out. For the last month, she and I have been doing this thing where if she works on a day that I also have to work, previously she would have come home on her lunch break. I would have made food, like a good little house spouse. We'd eat, and then on the way back to her job, she'd drop me off at mine along the way because they take the same route. Unfortunately, without enough coverage, she's not allowed to leave the building for her lunches. So on days when we both have to work, she has to go in at 6 a.m., which means even if my shift doesn't begin until 3 p.m., I also have to go into work at 6 a.m. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks quite a bit. I think I overshot this. Yeah, I definitely overshot this. All right, let me go down like this a little bit so that I know this is where it stops next time I come and clear this area. So on days where we both have to work, my day starts at 6 a.m. and like I have my laptop. I've been doing writing on some personal projects. I'm able to use the internet. Like it's not the worst, but it's not the same as being at home and resting, you know? Because I have to like get my uniform all together. I have to pack both of our lunches first thing in the morning. I have to sit and listen to all my coworkers and like I'm not turned off, you know? I have to be performing for my coworkers the entire time. And it just kind of sucks. I can't do any home stuff. Exactly. Whoops. Hello? Oh. A guy saw me. Oh, a wizard. A wizard saw me, and his little buddy is here too. Alright. I'm gonna die. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. I knew I was gonna. I needed a spot to drop some stuff off anyway. Good luck, Gata. That's what Boomer and I have been defending you from. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Oh wow, that is so much cobble. That is so much cobble. All this cobble has been donated very graciously by the other players on the server in preparation for when I inevitably am forced to build that giant fucking cube. There's no ifs, ands, about it for them. They are insistent that this is happening. Get that basalt out of there. Gotta rude. Hey, thank you.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much for the resub, Allegro. Why did Streamlabs not use my sound in my stuff? Did Streamlabs update my shit and not tell me? That sucks, actually. There's supposed to be a weenie dog. Oh well. You get a jolly jangle of the cheer bell. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, welcome in. I was telling everyone about my workplace woes. I appreciate the cobble. I greatly appreciate the cobble. It'll be very useful if I end up doing the thing that everyone seems insistent I'm going to do. There is a chance that we will not meet the goal. Fingers fucking crossed. There's a chance the goal will not be met. And if I don't have to do it, then hooray for me. It has been like 3 weeks since the last Dig for Dog stream. A lot of stuff has kind of happened just like on the internet, but also like it's all over now, so it's like, do I bother talking about it? Because stuff happened. Gameaverse, the first episode is out. I have opinions on it, but mostly I'm thrilled that it exists, and I desperately want to buy all of its merchandise. I don't have the money for that, but still, it's a nice dream, you know? I've been a fan of Ross O'Donovan since before the Game Grumps even existed. Like, I was on, like, early YouTube watching his Newgrounds animations that were ported over. I mean, I was on Newgrounds watching his stuff. The primary reason I got into Game Grumps back when it started was because I found out that, you know, Aaron was one of Ross's friends, and they knew each other from the animation scene. So when Game Grumps started getting big, I was like, oh yeah. It wasn't like I know John Tron and Aaron Hansen from their shit online. It was like, oh, these guys are friends of Rubber Ross. I don't think he was even called Rubber Ross at that point. I forget what his name was at that point. I was also a fan of the original, like, 3 or 4 episodes of the original Gameverse series from 2009, 2010. Loved that shit. Was very sad when it stopped updating. And now it's getting a full-on expansion, which is really cool. I watched the stream that Giwi, Ross's wife, did, where they watched the episode, and then Giwi's chat got to ask Ross questions, and Ross was like pausing constantly to talk about the development of the episode and like the Easter eggs that was on purpose. And it was just really neat listening to this guy geek out about how he got to work with all of his heroes. Like the primary composer for the series is Grant Kirkhope, but for each individual like game world in the fiction, he's been working with a different composer. And I think he said the guy who did the music for the opening of the series, when they're on Cat's World, the backstory bit, also worked on Shovel Knight and some other games of its ilk, I think. I forget what the other titles he said were. But also, like, the main villain is voiced by Chris fucking Sabat. And apparently, like, one of the animators that Ross got to join was originally like, I don't really have the time. I can't really dedicate anything to this. I'd love to. And then Ross was like, okay, I shouldn't be telling you this, but what if I told you would get to animate the character who's being voiced by the English VA of Vegeta? And the guy was like, oh, well, now I can't not sign on to the project. Okay, I'll figure something out. And it's really funny is that it's a glitch production as well. So like they focus on international releases as well. They managed to get the voice actor for Vegeta from the original Japanese version of Dragon Ball to voice the same character, which is absolutely hilarious to me. It's wild, but it's also like, hell yeah. So yeah, that came out. I'm really excited to see where that goes. What else? That's incredible. I think it's really neat. And like the entire series is dedicated to Monty Ohm, who Rubber Ross was friends with before his very tragic and sudden passing. Monty Ohm, if you're not aware, is the guy who created the Ruby series, RWBY, with Rooster Teeth. But he passed away before the series even properly got off, I feel. Like, I think it was only like 1 or 2 seasons in he died. And then Rooster Teeth just kept the series going in his honor. But Monty and Ross were close. So the entire Gameverse series is being dedicated in his memory, which is like, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. Hello? I heard a chitter. Oh, it's a squirrel. A squirrel fell into the hole, survived, and is now just running around down there with a bunch of frogs. Okay. All right. Ah! Oh, hi. Can I help you? Jesus Christ. I'm getting to a point where the monsters are finding me. Nar. Let me think. What else? What else has happened in my day life? Oh, is it raining outside now? Well, that's good. With any luck, it'll cool shit down, I say, delusional. What they don't tell you about Florida is that because of how fucking humid it is, rain very rarely actually helps cool things down. It just makes it more humid, so it's harder for you to evade the heat. Hi. Are you in a wall? Oh, I guess you were in a wall. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, that was a twofer. I won't complain about that. So I joined a... Oh, let me do this. There we go. I joined a web ring a few weeks back. Honestly, a month back at this point. And I posted about it on Blue Sky. Elmcat, a fellow blogger, TTRPG blogger, had been working on a big map of the blogosphere, where essentially he was coding... I don't know if it counts as being a program or if it's just like a subroutine. I don't know what the proper term for it would be. Oh, go away! There we go. Let me grab that. It's useful. He had been working on a big, like, subroutine that... Can I... there we go. That would scrape through someone's blog, be it on WordPress or Blogspot or Blogger or self-hosted, and it would take note of any and all links that it linked out to. It would then verify, like, I think it was manually verification. They would verify, like, blogs linking to blogs, right? How many people link to Gada's blog? How many other blogs does Gada link to? And from there, creating a massive node work map that showed like how each individual blog is connected to other blogs. All right. And what was really interesting was that because like there are people who have blogged about role-playing games as far back as the 90s, right? So the blog map that he created, making some tweaks to the algorithm, essentially, to remove, like, dead ends and, like, stuff that's lost to time, he created this massive node map that kind of plotted out, like, who is in what social group. Because you have the people who were blogging about like 3rd edition, back when 3rd edition was new. And some of them continue to blog to this day, but a lot of them stopped blogging or only ever linked to other 3rd edition blogs. So it was really interesting to see this big project as like a star system of who attaches to who and how over time those trends have shifted. It was very interesting. But it got him thinking that like there needed to be something a little more modern to keep everyone connected, to keep everyone in the know and like figuring out who's who and who's connected to who. I personally think that more blogs should link to each other. There should be more interplay. I'm sorry, Toffee. I popped her on the head by accident with my foot. All right, there we go. So he created a web ring / RSS feed kind of doodad called the root ring. It's rootr.ing because .ing is the oh wow, it is fucking pitch black on your guys' screen. You can't see shit right now, can you? My kingdom for a brightness toggle. It's all right. We'll get there eventually. And then drop down here. Only die a little bit. Not a lot of bit. Just a little bit. I should probably fix this ladder while I'm here. Anyway. So he made the root ring. He made the root ring. And I think as of just yesterday or the day before, he got a fully functional search engine working for blogs who are part of the root ring, which is fantastic. I've been working on a science fiction space odyssey game for my personal use. Nothing I plan on releasing. But trying to research other blogs who have already done work in that vein has been a nightmare because, you know, Google sucks and the internet is full of shit and I just can't find anything. So typing in the word sci-fi into the root ring search and getting 330 something results I cried a little. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It's really upsetting to me as someone who was born in the 90s and experienced the boom of internet culture in the 2000s to see how quickly everything has just gone to shit. Like, we're only 30 years out, right? This is 2026. We were only 30 years out from the millennium. And God, that makes me feel old, but okay. And already the internet has been so commodified and turned into walled gardens behind paywalls that it's just like, it just sucks. It sucks. So anytime someone takes it upon themselves to try to like bring back a bit of that old web energy, DIY, put it together, slap it on yourself kind of vibes, I respect it. I respect it. Thank you for lurking, Tegan. They are probably doing their day job requirements. It's what I get for streaming in the middle of the fucking day. When I stream from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I get a much wider net. But in my current state, like even if I hadn't slept in, I don't think I could have done that. I'm probably gonna go for only 4 hours today and call it quits for my own physical health. What's so wild to me is that, like, I know there are streamers who are able to keep streaming even when they're physically ill, and they keep the energy up despite being not their best, and I'm like, how? I don't want to be like you, but I would love to understand, like, the process you go through to reach that. Granted, those people are doing it as their day job, so I guess it's no different than, like, when I go to my day job, even when I'm not feeling well. The surgery went very well. The doctor originally was planning on removing her entire mammary chain, so every single nipple would go. She would have a scar in the shape of essentially a big U from removing the entire chain. But once he got her under, he removed the one nipple that we knew had the tumor in it. And it hadn't changed, it hadn't grown, it hadn't spread. And essentially on the table, he made the decision, he's like, yeah, no, we're not going to do the whole thing. There's no sense in it. He was like, I am like 98% sure it's benign. There's no real concern. Plus, this dog's a little underweight, so like we probably shouldn't put too much strain on her body. So they fixed the hernia, they fixed the one nipple. Toffee now has an odd number of nipples. And they called it good, which was, I mean, it's good because it's less invasive than I was bracing myself for. I was really concerned that her recovery would be very long and involved. But he just did what was necessary, and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna force her to go through the rest of that unless it needs to be done. So, in that sense, it's good. She's still a little EP sleepy. This might be a little TMI for people who are squeamish about surgery stuff and body fluids. But even though she's like been stitched up, it is still a wound that needs to heal, you know? So movement that can cause pulls on it, which can cause it to essentially release some bodily fluids. So we woke up, and unfortunately there were marks on the sheets from where her wounds had oozed a little bit, and we panicked because I was like, oh my god, does that mean the steel is broken? Does that mean she's just like she's bleeding out? Like, what do we do? And the vet just kind of like looked at our pictures of the sites and the amount of stain on the bed. He's like, yeah, no, that's fine, don't worry about it. And we're like, oh my god, phew, we thought our puppy dog was leaking. And I was like, no, Toffee. What's really funny for those who do not deal with the vet world, right? Once a dog goes under with the sedation, they look so fucking goofy because they are like the most asleep they've ever been in their entire lives, right? Like they are unconscious with a capital U. And it sucks when it's your baby because like you look at them and you're like, they shouldn't look like that. But when you are in the vet world and you've seen it happen a million times, watching like their tongues stick out and their eyes roll back into their head and their body is like flat fuck, they are just zonked. They are gone. It is very funny. So Jessica was sending me some photos, which I will not share because I understand they can be stressful to those who are not used to it, of Toffee being prepared for and then being removed from surgery. And she's just like a bearskin rug. Like every picture is just her flopped over in like the flattest way possible. Her tongue is like twice as long as I've ever seen it because she has no muscle control to keep it in her mouth anymore. They have to like gently move it to the side to fit the ventilator on. Also, because Toffee, the surgery she was having was so invasive because they had to fix a hernia. They were like, we have to sedate her so badly, so heavily, that she won't be able to breathe on her own. Like, we have to put her on a ventilator, okay? So I heard that, and I was like, oh my god, they inflated my dog. They puffed her up like a balloon multiple times. They inflated my puppy dog, which is only funny to me, because to anyone else, seeing it happen to their dog would be like, they'd be utterly distraught. And rightfully so. Please don't tell the internet that your dog inflated. I will tell the internet that my dog inflated on this stream, which I have titled, let me get this correctly, Streaming Whole. I will do that. I will do that and none of you can stop me. Dragon said the vet called me to let me take mine come home a couple hours sooner than estimated because apparently Pepper woke up early from hers. Oh no. Oh no, that is bad. That is not fun for a pupper to wake up early when they've had something invasive happen. That sucks for the pupper. Raglan says I'm calling the IRS. God. I still haven't gotten that fixed, by the way. I do believe I mentioned it on stream, but my taxes, there's been some issues where for the past couple of years we've owed them money, and I've been struggling to pay it back. And I found out this year that the only reason we owe them anything was because I was filing my house taxes incorrectly. So actually, all that money we paid, we now have to convince the IRS to give it back. We still haven't spoken to someone because we've been focusing on getting, you know, like the surgery and everything else taken care of. But yeah, we got to get that handled at some point in the near future before next year's taxes come due at least. Dragon says hers was only a dental. They didn't have to pull her bad tooth because it fell out as they were prepping to pull it. Yeah, no, that is actually fairly common. Toffee's had a dental done, and I think they only pulled one tooth because hers is doing fine. We've had dogs where they go in with teeth and they come back with none. Oh my god,
only $350 left for Cube Gold.
Only $350 left for Cube Gold. Thank you so much, Tegan, for the donation. We've hit $16.50. You get a Jolly Jangle of the Cheer Bell. Thank you. Where's the confetti? Hey, confetti? Huh. I guess no one reloaded the confetti cannons. They're supposed to in between donations, but I guess they just didn't. The confetti budget went to surgery costs. That's true. That is true. I have had to pull back some. Tegan says I'm still in the meeting, but I see the Jolly Jangle. Thank you, Tegan. God damn. What was I saying? I was talking with the IRS. I was talking about my taxes, how we haven't seen that guy. Yeah, no. It's getting tight for everyone, you know? Like I'm not trying to I'm talking about it, but I'm not really complaining about it. Just like, I have another thing on my list, you know? Because literally everyone's going through it. The economy is so fucking bad right now, guys. In the US in particular, I know that I have viewers who are not from the US, who do not fully have the same context that I do. Tegan says, I want to see that cube built the way J. Jonah Jameson wants pictures of Spider-Man. Jesus Christ. Alright. Alright. Tegan's like, this cube will be built if it kills me. I mean, if it helps anyone, like, at the rate at which I am able to work on the whole, this donation goal is going to be up for a hot minute. Like, just straight up, it's going to be hot for a minute. It will be built if it kills all of us. Jesus Christ, you guys. The thing is, though, right? Like, I set the goal high, so high, because I did not expect it to ever be met. All right, I keep saying that, right? $500 for the cube was already a never ever for me. Then you guys gave me $1,500 to help cover Toffee's medical bills, and you're still giving me money on top of this. What? I don't know if there's anything I can ask for beyond that. Right? Like, $500 is already asking so fucking much. If we actually hit that, I'm like, what could I possibly put up as a donation goal? What could I ever possibly consider? What, should I put $1,000 for the next thing? Like, what could I possibly offer you that is, one, worth $1,000, and two, worth $1,000 that I need? You know? Does that make any sense? Am I making sense there? I feel like
emotional damage.
Hi, Rocky. You did not jump me with that. Thank you very much. But it was a close thing. It was a close thing. I just feel like 6 years in, Farmer Gata has finally jumped the shark. You know? Oh, thank you for the water check, Raggles. I am drinking a Gatorade Zero Glacier Cherry. Why are you jumping Boomer? That is true. Boomer is a shark. I just feel like I could not possibly... Thank you. I'm assuming this is for the Gatorade. Thank you. I could not possibly come up with a donation goal that is worthwhile, but also it feels like after successfully... If we reach the goal, successfully getting $2,000 in donos, is like, where do I go from there? I can't go up because asking for more is ridiculous, but asking for anything less feels as ridiculous, you know? One thing that I really have to do, and it's been getting more obvious by the day, is I have to sit down and actually completely redo my stream setup. Everything that I used to use is done. Like, it's not supported, it's outdated, it doesn't work anymore. Gata plays 5th edition humiliation stream. Ramps for Toffee. She wouldn't use them. That's the thing. Toffee is a jumper. No matter what you do. Actually, currently, the way that we have been getting her up onto the bed is I have some pull-out storage under my bed, and I've just been leaving it halfway out so that she essentially can use it like stairs. And some days, she'll use it like stairs. Other days, she'll do a running start and completely leap over it. And I'm like, Toffee, for fuck's sake. Confirm that jumpy dogs don't use ramps. Yeah. Not even for her to get up on the desk to get pets. If I let her on this desk, she would leap off of it. Dachshunds have death wishes. There's no way around it. Well, honestly, Gata, I'm not convinced that this is even close to your ceiling. What are you talking about? What are you talking? No. Asking for $1,500 is already way too much. I could not ask for more. Like, I get that you're tired. Right. Okay. All right. Hang on. And that you're uncomfortable. Oh, no. You're not talking about the monetary ask. You're talking about ways that I can torture myself for your entertainment. You're saying that I could withstand stronger suffering in exchange for money. That's what you're saying. You're not talking about the moral implications of having a larger donation goal. You're like, I'm sure you could find something else. No, to be completely 100% honest with you y'all. With you y'all? Man, I'm tired. With you all. If it were not for the stuff going on in my day job, this would have been done a lot sooner. Half the issue isn't even the task in front of me. Yeah, no, I absolutely could torture myself so much farther. We haven't even done a haunted animatronic stream, right? Like, we haven't even gotten to that point. We never will, because I will never give the Cawthorn man my money, despite it all. Horror. But, like, there are definitely things that I could do. Listen, entertainment is one of the things that are 1,000% worth paying for. Jesus Christ. May the record reflect. I didn't use the word, quote, torture. Okay, all right. Speaking of really funny stream ideas, did you guys see the article about that streamer who was banned from Twitch because she played Dark Souls and was using the painted soles of her feet as a green screen for it? Like, she painted the soles of her feet green and then used a camera on them to play Dark Souls. All right? First of all, she was banned by Twitch. Okay, well, hold on. Here's the thing, right? Everyone knows the Dark Souls guy is super into feet. Like, that is a thing that we know. That is known by the public. He's into feet. So when you play Dark Souls and you see people without feet, with their toes out, I forget his name. It's like, yeah, no, we get that. We understand. We know what you are. Miyazaki? Yeah. Yeah, he's a foot guy, 100%. So first of all, showing off your dogs in a non-sexual context is not against Twitch TOS. There is nothing that she did that was an outright bannable offense other than the prudes at Twitch decided they didn't like it. All right? Technically, she was within her right to stream those dogs. But also, that's just objectively funny. That's just objectively hilarious. Dark Souls, and you use feet on your shit? No. No, she deserves to be returned. She deserves to be replaced. Objectively funny crimes should get people, well, I shouldn't say off. They should not be punished for objectively funny foot things, in my personal opinion. That is how I view it. Justice for Foot Girl, whatever her name was, I don't recall. All right, this has been bothering me a second. This is a clam. It's a coral seashell. I see. Shell. Hi, little guy. Hi. Can I see your health in my thing? No, because you're too wiggly for it. Raglan says, focusing on your feet has been against the rules for years. Boo! Boo! I say. What else? What else has been going on in my day-to-day life? It's mostly go to work, come home, and collapse, I'll be honest with you. Between the skeleton crew and beautiful wife having to work long hours, it's kind of been a bit of a nightmare. Let me think. What good has happened to me? What's something that I enjoyed recently? Star Wars Day came and went. And with it, a renewed interest for me in the franchise. I haven't really been engaging with a lot of Star Wars stuff over the years, but I did watch both the prequel and the original trilogy. As a kid growing up, liked them both relatively well. Never really got into the Clone Wars animated series, although, like, I know that I should, because it's good. Have no interest in watching the Disney trilogy. Only passing knowledge of what happens in Ahsoka and Mandalorian. But goddamn it, I've been reading a whole lot of Din Luke fanfiction. Raglan says, Gata, I'm gonna go shower. You have to pause until I get back. Okay, thanks. If I had a pause button that just froze stream, this would be the funniest time to use it. Save it for the nursing home, Clone Wars, the animated series. Oh, okay. I'll wait until I retire and then I'll watch it all. Got it. But no, what's really interesting to me is going through what is considered the current fanon, I guess. Like, what fan content is being made for it. Because, whoa. Like other big media, I'm gonna die here. All right. Yep, I knew it. I considered trying to heal, but there was no chance. There was just no chance of that working. Can I reach the ladder from here? Ooh. I probably shouldn't try this. Oh, no. Unfortunately, I cannot. I got relatively close, though. Like, from that angle, I got relatively close where the ladders were. I fall down faster than I fall forward, unfortunately. The trajectory just was not working out for me. Alright. There's a snail down there now. Alright. Let's see what I can do here. I got one. Oh, I almost got the other one. Damn it. I want them to add parasols that will slow down descent. I want the gliders to exist. They're in the game, but they're not complete. So we can cheat them in, but we can't craft them. I just want to get the gliders in. One of my favorite things about early Minecraft modding was there was a game, there was a mod called, it was Open Something, and it just had a whole bunch of random shit that made the game more fun. The two things that it had, because you know how, hello, are we gonna die anytime soon? Like, oh, okay, they did die, they just didn't play their animations correctly. All right, hold on, I'll fix this. Hold on, I'll fix this. Alright. Let me continue mining away for a bit longer. Alright, you know what? Never mind. Let's go sleep. Let's go sleep. It's nearing nighttime. What was I saying? Oh, right. It was called Open Something or Other, and it was like from 1.710 forward. It had a bunch of random doodads, but one of the things it had were hang gliders, which everyone used the hang gliders in modded Minecraft during that time. Like, it was like one of those mods you couldn't have a mod pack without, because everyone just loved the hang gliders. And the other thing was there, because like Minecraft has that weird experience EXP based enchanting, right? And you lose all your EXP when you die. So they included a drain, which you would essentially make a giant tank, and you would stand over the drain. It would suck all of your experience levels out of you, and it would be this like glowing green goop. And then if you wanted it back, you would go to a spigot and turn it on. It would shower you with experience until you got what you wanted. Those two things were like cornerstone features for me playing modded Minecraft back in 1.710. Ah, memories. But yeah, hang gliders and some way to make use of liquids. That spigot should actually be in Souls likes. Yeah? Yeah? You want the foot game to include shower scenes? Is that what you're saying, Rocky? That's what I heard. That's what I heard Rocky say. You all heard it here, folks. All right. Let me dump some shit out. All right. Rocky trying to walk it back. No. I heard what you said, man. I heard what you said. Don't worry about it. You're among friends. I say with a shit-eating grin on my face. All right. Ooh, cheese. All right. Let's head back down into the space. Whoa. That got scarier than I anticipated it being. Oh, I had plenty of time. I had plenty of time. Phew. Still, it was a little bit freaky. Ooh, block pallets? What do you mean? What are you referencing, Kiwi? Alright. So we're just about to the point where I can start work on this wall. The Update 6 patch notes just dropped. They only pushed out Update 5 yesterday. God damn it. Alright. As happy as I am that the game continues to update, and as thrilled as I am that we finally are getting the ability to choose what update we're playing on, part of me wishes they would follow their promise to, like, let things sit for a minute before they completely upend the server. As a server operator, it is a bit of a nightmare trying to get everything to work in our favor. Hopefully, now that we have dedicated version choosing in the game, I'll be able to actually, like, mods will start labeling what versions they're for, and that'll make it a bit easier. But still, it's low-key a nightmare. All right. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a path of 2 blocks up, 1 block forward. I wish the version didn't need to be set every time you launch the game. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, I have nothing against... Oh, that's much better. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. I understand that, like, the main version of the game is what they want to focus on, but because modding was added so early, having to reset to the newest every time is frustrating. It is. And it's just the nature of the beast with it being early access. But, like, because modding was such a big push of what makes this game fun, and because the game is such early development, that, like... Well, that wasn't what I intended to do. All right. But it works, I guess. Huh. doing this, and then eventually, maybe, am I still in the hole? Oh, I am right by the edge of the hole, actually. Oh. Oh, I see. Alright, well, I guess from this point forward, I'll start going this way around the edge. I mostly just want a safe way to get up to the tippy top so I can start carving it down. Okay. This'll do. Whoop, I almost immediately fell off the edge. Hello? Fuck off. Alright, and then I just start a-swinging. What were we talking about? I've completely forgotten. Let's see. Let's see what else. Oh, there's a guy beneath me. Giggle tee-hee. He'll never catch me. Unless he does, in which case, you know. Huh. Alright, so you have to go away. I'll grab all of that. Eat some roast vegetables. Delicious, delicious. Alright. Unfortunately, I think this guy is going to have to be taken care of before I do anything else. Oh. Goodbye. Was there another guy around or just him? I feel like there was two. But I don't see him. So I guess I'm safe? Maybe it was just one. Hello? Mr. Obama? No, we're good. We're good. You would think after being... Oh, he fell down. That's what happened. I see. You would think after being gone for 3 weeks I'd have more things to talk about. But unfortunately, I spent those days either working my ass off or sick in bed, so... I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm doing my best. Donkey Kong 64 is on Nintendo Switch Online now. Or it will be on the 4th of June. Which people are mentioning to me. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But also, like, if I'm going to play DK64, it's going to be, like, a modded ROM, you know? Maybe I'll pull it up and run through it if I'm bored. But, mostly... Do you have any opinions on Star Wars TTRPGs? Wow, Dragon, you sure know how to speak my language. I've never actually played a Star Wars TTRPG. Which might sound wild to you who know me as a TTRPG guy, but, like, I've only been a passive fan of Star Wars, and never have I ever had the chance to actually, like, play within its universe. I skimmed through the Star Wars 5e fan project a couple times, back when I was, like, first getting into games, and I found it to be, like, I mean, it was 5e, so it had all the 5e's problems, and then it was trying to be a genre emulation on top of that, so I do own a copy of Maze Blades, which is an odd-like focused on being a space wizard. So, like, there's that. That isn't an official one. And I do know that the 90s Star Wars RPGs are responsible for, like, 80% of the expanded universe is lore. Like, I forget who it was who wrote it, but, like, essentially they got the license and needed to flesh out a bunch of stuff that wasn't like handled in canon for the sake of having an RPG world to run around in. And Lucasfilm like saw what they wrote and just went, you know what? Yeah, this is all canon now. Why work harder when we can work smarter, you know? So like that's interesting. But I've never actually got into them myself. The Star Wars game I have played like a dice builder, and it's pretty fun. Yeah, you make like pools based on like various positives and negatives your character has, and then you roll the pool and you see what happens. Is it like that? I think I recall hearing Matt Colville describe a different game like that and mention the Star Wars RPG in the same breath. Don't quote me on that. I haven't watched Matt Colville's backlog of videos in a long time. I haven't like graduated from them per se, but I've already done like 3 full watch-throughs of his playing the game series over the years. So like I've gleaned what I can from them. When I was a boy, I watched Matt Colville videos. Now as a man, I read theory blogs. Who's to say which is better, really? Fantasy Flight. Oh, hi, Boomer. Fantasy Flight has a dice builder that once you have so many points, you upgrade to get die to the next highest. Kiwi says, use experience by more or better dice. Interesting. Very interesting. I like that. Some skills can remove bad die. Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what Matt Cope was talking about in that one video then. Not that I expect any of you to just know on top of your head what video I'm talking about. I'm just talking for the sake of talking. I need more drink, I think. Delicious. Boomer says, I am obsessed with Fantasy Flight's dice builder and want to see it in more games, to be honest. I have never been a dice pool guy. I understand the monkey brain responses to dice pools, but I am the kind of guy who would much rather have a single die to roll and then all of the monkey brain plus and minuses lead up to that roll, if that makes sense. Like, I've never played 3rd edition, but in theory, the multiple positives and negative modifiers leading up to a single d20 roll would be my personal favorite way of handling things. That's how my brain chemistry works. So I've never really gotten into dice pools. They're just not for me, even if in some games the math is just objectively better. Shrugs at the camera. Fantasy Flight is very interesting, and then the you can succeed, but because of the die results, something else goes catastrophically wrong is cool. I do like that. There was, oh man, and this might be contentious. A buddy of mine, I call him a buddy. He's more of like someone who is in the same circles as I, so we're friendly together. We never actually like seriously talked to each other. He was feeling spicy the other day, and so he made a post that I disagreed with, and it unfortunately got bigger than he anticipated it would, and it led to discourse. His opinion is that, without any nuance or discussion, Powered by the Apocalypse is bad. He does not like it, and therefore he doesn't like it. Simple as that. Now, in a vacuum, saying I don't like this thing and I think it shouldn't exist is like the standard of how the internet works these days. You just ignore it and move on. But Powered by the Apocalypse, for a number of reasons, is an industry darling. So a bunch of opinion havers logged on and started going at it, and it very quickly ballooned past this one guy's post. Like, the guy apologized for the inflammatory post and moved on, but the discourse did not know that he was the originator, and so it just kept going. one of the things that did come out of the conversations that I found was really interesting was the discussion of how some people perceive Powered by the Apocalypse to simply be a roll 2d6 on a 10 plus, something good happens, on a less than 6, something bad happens. And like that's all Powered by the Apocalypse is to some people. And that was really interesting to me because while a lot of people do design Apocalypse world hacks, assuming that is as deep as the mechanics go, it is not by a long shot. And it was just interesting to notice how many people perceive the system as being just that. I'm not even really sure how I can verbalize what else it is good for. A well-written Powered by the Apocalypse game will treat each move as less of a button to press and more of like a mini game to create a moment. Powered by the Apocalypse is shine the best when they are emulating a genre. So, for example, if you have a heist game and one of your characters has a move that has to do with like a flat... Well, this probably is a bad example because Blades in the Dark exists and does its own thing. But let's say, for example, you're playing a Powered by the Apocalypse and it's only emulation. The only thing it's cared to do is to create a heist movie aesthetic, right? And yeah, you roll 2d6 about it. And if it's 10 plus, it's great. On a 5 or lower, it's bad. Like, yeah, that's not incorrect. But the move itself that you are triggering for that dice roll should essentially be its own contained minigame to recreate a scene or vibe that is popular or important to the genre you're emulating. So, for example, a move could be like you're in a high-stakes scenario with death on one side and your crew being found on the other. Roll to determine what happens next. And in a good heist movie, right, if a character dies because of shenanigans during the heist, complications during the heist, a good result to that should be the character is perceived to die, but actually, and then give opportunities for more role-playing. Exactly, Kiwi. So, like, there are some games that do not get that. I would argue Root is one of them. I've read Root. I don't think they get it. There are games that don't care to tap into that, which is, no, that's fine, whatever. But like a really good Powered by the Apocalypse hack needs to understand that in order to properly shine. And for a lot of people, possibly due to the glut of hacks that don't understand the point of the design and are just doing it because it's the cool thing, myself included, actually. I wrote a Powered by the Apocalypse hack. It was one of the first games I ever released. Technically, it was more a hack of what's so cool about outer space. But it was Powered by the Apocalypse that really inspired most of the design choices that I made. But even then, I only had like a very baseline understanding. You can still get the game, by the way. It's on itch. It's, what's so cool about Bing Bing Wahoo? Yeah. It was just an interesting day to see people say wholeheartedly with their chest that they did not understand the thing that they were proclaiming to be bad. Which, again, that is just kind of how the internet works, so I don't know why I'm surprised. Let me think, what else? Anything TTRPG related that's happened? There's a guy who's made, like, an AI-based website that pretends to be like a wiki of sorts for different designers in the tabletop community. But like the information is usually wrong. The images are not of the designers themselves, and they have been very vocally defensive if anyone contacts them to say, hey, please remove me. Some people have been considering legal action because it defames them in some way, which is wild. Apparently, it started out being like a group of 3 guys who worked together, who were doing tabletop stuff with AI. But then it quickly became 1 guy because the other 2 realized their names were on the website that was generating all that bad press, and they had never been informed the website was going to be a thing at all. So they left the guy high and dry, which is very funny. It went down for a couple of days, but it's back up under a new title, and it's just the same shit. I know people like, God, I can't think of their last name now. Spencer Gila RPGs was very vocal about, Spencer Campbell, that's what it is, was very vocal about not wanting to be on the website, and in communications with the owners of the website got some very questionable communications back. Low-key, they're using an AI to talk to anyone who talks to them. Like, just straight up, they're fully artificial intelligence builds. It's been very confusing and very frustrating, but also a little bit funny because it's like they're trying to make a storefront for TTRPGs, and having the wiki be tied to that as like marketing is like their business model, but it's like you're pissing off the very people who you would want to be selling on your marketplace. So like, you loaded the gun and shot your foot and then loaded the gun again. Like, what are you thinking? They're not, but whatever. Boomer says, I have very mixed feelings on Powered by the Apocalypse, and they find that frustrating. Not every school design is for everyone. There's a number of designs that I don't agree with, but I do still see value in engaging with. Like, for example, oh, sorry, 1 second. Stretch. Pardon me. There are things about other people's theories that I'm like, there's a nugget of truth in this, but it is not true for everything. So like, I don't know, man. It depends. It depends. It has been an hour and a half, and I am afraid that I am already flagging a little bit. I think I'm going to keep going another half an hour and then call it quits. We've got the walls handled. So, like, at the very least, we are going to start the next stream, whenever that may be. Maybe Tuesday? Can't promise that. Well, no, I work Tuesday, so that's not happening either, actually. God damn it. And Monday is Mushroom League Baseball, so like that's out of the question as well. Because we are so skeleton crewed at my day job, I request the last Sunday of the month off for Mushroom League Baseball. It is very important to me that I am able to participate in Rocky's baseball project. Oh, hi, Rocky. Didn't see you there. But I requested it off, and so I shouldn't log into Hightail. I mean, if you want to, man, I'm not gonna stop you, but like, I'm getting tired. I haven't been feeling well. I promised myself that I wouldn't miss another week, however, so like, here I am. But no, so I was all excited, like, oh, hell yeah, Sunday, and we're gonna do league baseball, it's gonna be great. My coworker messages me, and he says, hey, Gata, I know that you're, like, actively dying, and I know that this is not going to be what you want to hear, but I wanted to ask if you would take my Sunday shift. The reason is that I thought I had submitted the time off requests, and apparently it didn't go through. My sister is graduating high school that day, and I really want to attend. And I'm at home looking at my phone, and like, I said to myself, like, the right thing to do would be to let this guy go see his sister graduate. Like, that's family. You only get to experience that once. I shouldn't be a dick about it. But I also took a moment to just like sit and ask myself, what if I were a dick about it? What if I was selfish and told him no, that he should just deal with the consequences of his actions? I told him, yeah, of course I'll cover him. But for a minute, I was like, let me just sit here and just kind of like bask in the possibility, the universe where I chose to be an asshole. And I said, yeah, no. And thankfully, Rocky was very accommodating, and we just moved it the following day. But still. I'm hoping by next Thursday I'll be properly back to 100%, so I can do more than just like a 2-hour stream. Oh, thank you so much for the drink, for reminding me. Thank you, Kiwi. Hydration and lots of sleep, exactly. Me and Toffee both. Oh, hey, Ludwig. I shared your stream in the Slugger Discord. Hope that was cool. Yeah, man. I mean, that's fine. I don't normally post in the Slugger Discord unless it's something Lego related. Oh, shit. Okay, well. Says the Insomniac. Yeah. Alright, so... Oh, shit! It got behind me. Ah, I'm gonna die. No! Oh my god, I lived. I can't believe I lived, actually. That, That could have been so much worse. Alright, can I get up here from here? I can't mantle from there. It's only 3 blocks. Hello? And then jump at you. Whoop, fall down a hole. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let me grab this. Let me go back over here. And then jump over here. Is it nighttime already? It's getting to be nighttime up top. I should probably do something about that. No, I haven't been doing much by way of Lego stuff. Can I wish there was knockback. There you go. You go off. I guess you just live here now. Alright, goodbye. Hi, Tegan. Hi, Tegan. Welcome in. Frog almost killed me. We talked about tabletop stuff. I talked about Lego a little bit. Not really. I have been playing some Manic Miners, though. For those of you who don't know, Manic Miners is a fan remake of the 1999, or maybe it was 2000, PC game. It's a real-time strategy game for the Rock Raiders Lego theme. Something about Dark Souls and feet happened, and I don't have to know about that. Okay, alright, fair enough. I have been playing some Manic Miners. I've been playing through some fan levels for it, because I finished the main campaigns like 3 times over at this point. It's a fun little, simple little RTS. Nothing too big or brash, but it's free. Alright, I need to not die to frogs. Ah! And to go up and sleep. I accused Rocky of torturing me. No. I didn't accuse Rocky of torturing me. Rocky said that there was so much more that I could do. You've never got Manic Miners work on your computer? That sucks. I'm sorry, man. Because I gotta tell you, it's a good time. It's a good fucking time. No, Rocky was saying that, like, I definitely haven't found, like, the upper limit of what I could do for money. And I was like arguing like I couldn't possibly set a goal for anything higher than the 500 I have because you guys have already given me so much. And I was like, but then also like what could I possibly do to like match the amount of nonsense and suffering that I have given myself here? And Rocky's like, I'm sure you can do more. And I was like, oh, I see how it is, Rocky Hardington. But no, I was talking about, like, morally. There's not much more that I could ask for. All right. I didn't bring any food with me because I'm an idiot. Well, if I'm gonna die, it might as well be in glorious battle. Ah, I survived. I kind of was hoping to die so I get to the top faster. That's alright. Hold on, guys. I'll fix the screen. I'll fix it. Let me climb this ladder a little bit. And then jump off. There we go. Let's see what I have for food in my chests. That's metal. That's moss and metal. I could chew on some sticks, I guess. Here we go. Cooked wild meat. Much better. Let's just dump some guff. Is there any other... There was some that. Okay. We stocked your chest very well, if I do say so myself. You do say so yourself, Tegan. Alright. Let me... Do I have any fix-em-ups? I have 10 repair kits on me. Good, because I have 3 and a portion pickaxes left, and my daggers aren't doing so hot. I should probably think about replacing my daggers at some point. So how was work, Tegan? Did you have a good time being... Well, okay. That wasn't what I intended to do. Let me pop over to here. Jump. There we go. Work is fine. Well, that's good. People are stupid. What's new? Honestly. What's fucking new? That's perfectly natural. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hi, Toffee baby. You good? Okay. She keeps bumping into things with her cone. She's actually really good for the cone. She tried to get it off when she was like super high and seeing dragons in like shapes and colors. But now she just kind of like has accepted that it's a thing that she has to deal with. So, good for her. I'm so happy Toffee is good with the cone. When she eats, I gotta take it off because otherwise she can't figure out how to get her mouth to where the food is. Bless her heart. But she's very good. She holds very still when I take it off and when I put it back on. She's like, no, no, no. I hold on to this when I don't eat, and then Dad puts it back on afterwards. And I'm like, good girl. Good fucking dog. Is she all sorted now? No more stress. Well, we have to pull the trigger on the actual payments because it's going to be a minute before the charges are actually like in the system to pull. And we've sent the stuff we pulled out of her off to a lab to make sure that's safe. But other than that, yes, we have to wait 2 weeks for her to recover from the surgery, and then everything will be a-okay. The only new concern is that the doctors pointed out that she's a little underweight, so we're gonna have to change her. Oh, hello. We're gonna have to change her diet to hopefully boost her body mass. How long until you hear back from the lab? It should be more than a week. So in a relatively short order, we should know one way or the other. But the doctor is pretty sure it's benign. Doctor is pretty sure there's nothing to worry about. The lab thing is just better safe than sorry, you know? I don't know if you heard me talk about it earlier, Tegan, but originally she was going to have her entire mammary chain removed. So like every single nipple would be taken out. But he decided, no, there's no sense in doing that invasive a surgery when we're this sure that it's just a one-off. There's no actual signs of spreading, so removing the other nipples preemptively is no longer like all dog, no nips. Well, no, she's all dog with an odd number of nips now because they only removed the one. They were saying that the initial scar was going to be like a U shape covering the majority of her length because they're going to go from one nip to the next, the next, the next, just remove the entire process. All right, bye, Ludwig. Thanks for stopping by. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Let me do this. All right, so we seal that, open that up, and then I use... Oh, is that not going to let me put blocks down? Okay. I guess that's just too far down. All right. Let me do like this, and like this. Yeah, Tegan said if there's nothing for it to attach to, it won't let you do the thing. All right, you go away as well. I hate you. All right. Let's do that. And then here we'll seal this off like so, and then we'll dig it out. But it goes down even further. I see a conundrum I have encountered, a problem. But that's all right. That's why, bucket of water. Well, I don't have a bucket of water, so I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to make do with what I got. Let's finish digging to this corner first. Oh, well, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? Just quietly sidles up to the lava. And then this is the actual end. You should. Why don't you? Because Tegan, I'm stupid. I'm stupid, Tegan. I never take what I need with me. I just suffer the consequences after the fact. You know this about me. This is not news. Not stupid, just sick. No, a little bit of both. Come on, Kiwi. Let's be honest with ourselves. More than a little bit of both. All right. And then I'll just seal it off like so. Here. Here. Why aren't you going away? Piss off. I've done it. I've sealed off the lava. It's tactical, free stream content. Well, let's not go that far. That would imply that I knew what I was doing. Purposefully streaming while sick so that everyone gets to see me suffer? I don't know. That feels a little too forethinking of me. Alright, so let's block you off. Then block you off. Then over here, block, 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 block. Literally all my friends are day drinking in cosplay right now, and I'm at work. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to be stuck with your 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Do you have any cosplays planned, Tegan? One day I'll get a con hotel room crying. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. Tegan, you donated a bunch of money to me. What's a topic you want to hear me talk about? You deserve it, Tegan. Come on. I wouldn't have denied you anyway, but one freebie. What's something that you have been desperately wanting to hear my take on? Tegan, you're gonna cosplay as Katarina Clarice? Are you kidding me? You didn't tell me this at any point. What do you mean? That is so you, though. That is such a good pull. What the fuck? Holy shit. With a big hoop skirt and everything. Oh my god, Tegan. How have you not told me about this yet? Have you debuted the other cosplay that I was made aware of? Your boobs got too big. Oh no! The things we do for comic book accuracy. I guess I'll just say it. The Rarity cosplay? Did you ever debut that? Because Rarity is, again, another very good pull for you specifically. 100% your vibe. You made a TikTok with it and everything. Good. Good. You want to redo it so it's not that figure? Understandable. We did the pH of the soil is too high audio. Fantastic. That's wonderful to hear. But yeah, Tegan, dealer's choice. Anything you've been dying to hear me talk about? I've never done cosplay, mostly because of how expensive it is. I don't really do conventions much in general, so... But I love the artsmanship and the craftsmanship that goes into it, you know? Like, people who are good at cosplay are like magic, essentially. But I suppose any art form that you don't have familiarity in feels like magic when someone else does it really well, you know? I never want to discourage people from trying new things, but nothing will, I guess, pardon me, nothing will ruin your perception of a thing than getting into doing that thing yourself. Like, a lot of people view dungeon mastering as some, like, destiny or, like, a skill set that, like, you have to be born into in order to do properly. And then once you actually start doing it, or like seeing how the people around you who you would idolize for doing it do it, you realize, oh, it's just X, Y, and Z. It's not actually that, you know? Tegan says, some people are better than others at DMing. It takes practice. I mean, it's the same thing with cosplay. It's the same thing with, storytelling, same thing with coding. Like, once you understand, like, the process of the thing that you viewed as being artistically fantastic. You mean you weren't visited by the DM wizard when you hit puberty, Gata? Rocky, if a man who called himself the DM wizard started showing up to 13-year-olds to bestow upon them a blessing, we would have him arrested. So no, I don't think so. I'm not that good, guys. Simmer down. But thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're in jail now. Oh, you're saying when I turned 13. Yeah, I have no memory of that. So it might have happened before he was caught and put on trial for his crimes. Who knows? No, we wouldn't. This is America. True. He'd have an elected position at this point. DM Wizard for it. We'll put him in charge of the health service. He can't do much worse than the guy we currently got going. Oh, Gata, who are you getting character feels about for Run Rabbit? Oh, right. The other day, I think it's been 8 days now, an artist whose name I don't recall released a song that got popular on TikTok. So my wife listened to it in the car on the way to work. And I was listening to it, and I'm like, well, shit. So, and I posted in the Discord about how, like, I was getting character feels for it. So there is a story that has been percolating in the back of my mind for well over a decade now. Probably 2 decades if I really think about it. And the pitch is that it's magical girls, but they're grown adults. So, like, it is the structure of a Meguka show, but the content is... It's not like a deconstruction where it's like, oh, these magical girls say fuck. But it's a magical... It's the vibes and structure of a magical girl show taken seriously, but it's about a pair of mystery solvers who are dealing with supernatural events, and there is a plot of sorts to collect. It's essentially a big treasure hunt that involves ghosts and shit to break open the soul of the world and give someone godlike powers. I'll take 6 seasons in a movie. I haven't even said anything yet. So the main duo, one is an ex-cop who has a bad relationship with her mother. And the other is a gay pirate who has unresolved emotions about his father figure who died. And the pair of them are individually chosen by the remnants of someone who was considered a great hero. For the detective, it's her aunt who she never got to meet, who is like the standard that her mother was constantly comparing her to. And for the pirate, he was chosen by the spirit of his captain, but because of like the rules of how ghosts work in this universe, they're not allowed to communicate with each other. So he lives with the literal figure of his father hovering over his shoulder, giving him strength, but they are never allowed to resolve the issues between them. So they do magical girl stuff where each of the different forms is based off a Halloween costume. So the pirate, who I've named Captain Odyssey, takes on the form of a fictional pirate, like a yo-ho Captain Hook kind of character. He's a swashbuckler, and he does Spider-Man shit with like anchors. So he has like ghostly anchors that he can swing about on. The detective becomes like a Sherlock Holmes, and she has like a bow staff with like a magnifying glass on one end. And she wears a fedora that is tipped homosexually in a jaunty direction on her head. And while they are not meant to be shipped, a lot of the energy is very much like traditional homoerotic posing, despite there not being any actual kissing involved between the two of them. So they're like, the whole point is that they will eventually become gay besties and low-key found family, but they start off hating each other because the detective is trying to play things by the book because she still yearns for her mother's support and pride, whereas he's gone the opposite direction where his dad is dead, so nothing matters, so he takes nothing seriously. and over the course of their adventure, solving mysteries, helping people, finding other ghosts that have been like attached to objects. And some of them are like, oh yes, you are my successor, I will grant you my power, here, have a brand new costume. And others are like, my successor hasn't been born yet, please seal me away so the bad guys can't use me. The character who I got the most vibes from Run Rabid is actually one of the main antagonists, who will eventually join them as like a 6th Ranger, but not until super late because she has to go through a bunch of arcs herself. Her name is Polly Sugargood. The main bad guys are the Sugargoods, and Polly is like over the top cosplay prima donna. She has her hair up into like a giant ponytail. She always has immaculately done nails. She uses a fabricated power source where she is the witch, and then there's going to be like a strong-armed enforcer who's like the Frankenstein. So like the bad guys use monsters, the good guys are like traditional Halloween costumes for jobs. Yes, they're sugar good because candy, you see. But it's like it's like rotten sugar. It's like overly sweet, like that's the vibe. The foot soldiers are all made of like this radioactive taffy green goo that is like it's obviously bad for you, but they're still made out of candies. So anyway, Polly is the daughter of the mad scientist who is like the big bad. He's the one who makes the monsters. He's the one who is trying to get as many of these ghostly treasures as possible to unlock the soul of the world to become godlike. And he's like big and he's brooding, but he's also like super depressed. He's done all this shit to his body, so he's really just like a machine in a wall who has connections to all the rest of his lab to like create these candy monstrosities. And Polly is his daughter, so she's like, I am the main enforcer, I'm the one in charge, I will fulfill these missions and my dad will love me. However, the Mad Doctor has a wizard advisor, and he's just completely camp. His name is currently Mint, the Marvelous Mint, he calls himself in this current working iteration. And he's a tall twink of a man. He gives off, what's the vibe I want to use? Have you ever seen Has-Been Hotel? You know the Radiohead demon, Alistair, or whatever? Imagine Alistair if he was just bad at being a bad guy. He wants to be Alistair so bad, but he's just so bad at getting anyone to actually follow through with his evil schemes. His main downfall is that he keeps offering Faustian bargains to people, and then because he's an idiot a bit, he ends up being hoisted by his own petard. Taco from TV, I would say that is similar, but significantly more malicious. Like, he is more outright, I am evil, not even in a I am self-centered and that makes me do things that people view as immoral, which is Taco from TV. He's, I want to be evil so bad, but everyone else keeps fucking up. It's never my problem. Honest guys, I swear, right? All right, so let me get rid of you. So the mad scientist has an evil wizard under his employ. And so the wizard and Polly are constantly competing to make the evil plans work right. And okay, can I kill you, please? Apparently not. Oh my god. I can't do shit in this house. There we fucking go. Where's my food? Where is it? Here it is. Anyway, shit. Can't have shit in the pit. It's true. Alright. I did get 2 maces for that, so like that's something. I should have brought my cheese. The cheese would heal a bunch of stuff real quick, like. Is it nighttime yet? No, but it's getting there. Anyway, the twist is going to be that the reason the main bad guy wants to become God is because Polly Sugargood isn't Polly Sugargood. The wizard is the one who came to him because he needed something from the scientist. Like the Faustian bargain the wizard offered was like, you do this for me, I'll do this for you, and then we can move on with our lives. And what the deal was that the real Polly Sugargood is dead. Like, she died horribly, horrifically, terribly. And the deal that Mint offered was, I will summon the ghost of your daughter back and put her into a clone body that you grow if you make me my own clone body of somebody who I need to ritually sacrifice in order for this thing to work. And because Mint is a bit of an idiot, he's so sure that the plan will work, and that when it doesn't, and both the Polly clone and the clone of the other guy essentially become their own people and unusable for their desires, the doctor is like, well, you didn't fulfill your end of the bargain, which means I own you now. We are going to fulfill your weird wizard shit to make me rewrite reality to get me my daughter back. So the clone bodies, who are Polly and the current working name is Rio, the Frankenstein guy, essentially they're like, well, we might as well make use of these perfectly fine clone bodies we have, and they turn them into cyborgs to better control them and use them as enforcers. So there's a bit in the story where Polly, near the end, realizes that basically everything she's believed is a lie, but she still has this desire to be Polly Sugargood because it's all she's ever known. She spent her whole life being what her father wants her to be, not realizing that she could never be that. So Run Rabid really made me think of that character in particular. That's the point I was getting at. Actually, Tegan, you would recognize some other characters from this story because I use them in the shoe campaign. Yeah. So that uncle, that wizard uncle that Prima and Patch, the Witch of the East, I think he was after, is your violin robot there. No. She was bespoke for that campaign. She was bespoke. Prima is the person that Mint wanted to clone because so the thing is, right? The through line of the story is that magic is a bit of a bitch and it's very specific. Hi, Circuit. So in order to ritually sacrifice the right person to open the gates to make Mint a god, he had to kill the gate's guardian, who was his brother, and then sacrifice the guardian's firstborn, the blood of the firstborn son. Oh, my game glitched for a second, and I panicked and was like, oh my god, it's all gonna crash. The thing is that Prima, Mint is transphobic, I must stress this. Prima is not the firstborn son, because Prima is a woman, and magic affirms that. So Mint attempts to bleed her dry and kill her, and it doesn't work because she's not the firstborn son. And that's a problem because as far as Mint is aware, he has no other nephews. So if this one didn't work, holy fuck. So his plan is, hey, if you clone the son, if you clone a son from all this blood that I have from this girl that I failed to sacrifice, and we sacrifice that, then that should work perfectly fine. I see no flaws in this plan. Except, because this isn't complicated enough, Captain Odyssey is actually the secret son of the previous garden who was given to his captain to hide away from Mint. So Rio ends up being a clone of Prima, who gets turned into a unfeeling Frankenstein cyborg, who ends up fighting directly against his genetic brother? Question mark? It's a whole thing. It's honestly way too complicated. There's a reason why I haven't made it into anything more than just thoughts in my own head, because of how complicated it is. There would have to be a lot of darling killing in order for me to make it something for the public, you know? But yeah. So, messy, gay, Halloween, magical girls, only it's a whodunit mystery show, and it gets real shonen anime near the end. That's the thing. Those are my, like, primary OCs that I rotate in my head. Sometimes the sharp edges are what we use to scratch the itches in our brain. Yeah, so, like, the thorough thought is that language and the words that we use are specific and important. So for the wizard who uses magic to try and make Faustian bargains, but then keeps getting his own petard hoisted by the language he ignores or doesn't think is important, followed by Prima declaring herself a girl, therefore, because she believes it so, because she is, magic affirms that, being like, yeah, no, this has to be a firstborn son, and you've handed me a daughter, so, like, that's not gonna work. Followed by, like, the current working name for the detective character is Rizzo. She wants to become what her mother wants her to become, but her mother wants something so specific that there's no chance of her ever becoming that. And then also, like, with Polly Sugargood, she calls herself a name, and therefore she is that name, even if there's all these reasons why she shouldn't. It's like, no, I have claimed this for myself. One of the big things that really itch my brain is the use of the word treasure and crew, because one of the two main characters is a pirate guy. Like, he has spent his entire life sailing the seas, going around, being a sailor, and living up to the image that he has of his adoptive father. So when he first starts the story, one of the taglines, sort of like the "in the name of the moon, I'll punish you" thing they say during the transformation, is "get your hands off my treasure," because the pirate guy wants the ghostly doodads for reasons, and the detective girl wants them to get them out of the hands of ne'er-do-wells. Like, that's the entirety of her motivation. So at first, the pirate guy is like, "get your hands off my treasure," because he wants the shiny thing, right? But then as the story goes on and he becomes closer and closer to the people who join his crew, they become his treasure. So there's going to be a good line drop where he fights a guy who has, like, one of the other characters hostage, and he uses the line, "hands off my treasure," and then wrecks the guy because that's my homo, potentially erotic life partner, and you can't take them from me, you know? Rocky says, "Gata, I think all my OCs might be dead," and then goes, "I'll figure it out later." Whoops. Uh-oh. Teehee. I hope they get better, or maybe they don't. Maybe you want them to be dead. That's fine. I'm going to have to fix up my pickaxes real quick here. I have somehow actually managed to fully branch out the hole. The hole is now as wide as it is going to be. Now I am actually digging down for the first time in weeks. We are making progress, chat. We're actually making progress. It's happening. It's happening, y'all. And only 3... How far until we hit bedrock? Honestly, I don't fucking know at this point. I don't fucking know at this point. I did some estimating. I don't know how legit. We can't even jump scare you with more donations for making it wider. That is a valid point. That is a valid point. The last jump scare is just going to be me admitting that I have to make the cube at some point. Ugh. So that does kind of ruin the fun a little bit now that I think about it. That does kind of ruin the fun because you can't jump scare me anymore. What could I do to add that back in? If I hadn't been sick and I was able to stream for a full day, we would have gotten this accomplished a lot faster. We're really just doing cleanup for the event. What's something funny that I could offer to do in exchange for money? I'm sure one of you assholes will think of something. In the meantime, I am happily content in my non-jump scare existence, knowing that I can work at my own pace. I don't have to rush. I can just mine away. It depends how many blocks he has managed to dig down since we placed the blocks back into stream run. Yeah, that's a good point. You did fucking... Alright, hang on a second. So, is it F3? F7. I am at Y level 12. I'm pretty sure 0 is where I meant to be. So maybe 12 more? No, I think it's a negative number, actually. I don't know, but I'm at Y12. So at the very least, we are aiming for... No, that's not correct. There we go. We are aiming to at least get to 0. So 12 more levels. Bedrock wasn't flat. Still, I'll want to dig out as much as I can. What if it's negative 320? Sweats profusely. Sweats profusely. I'm not making the hole bigger. You cannot make me. But if we're here for a time, then we're here for a time. Let me tell you guys, since we're talking about OCs, let me tell you guys about my sci-fi RPG project that I got going, right? So I am working on an odd-like for sci-fi space adventures, inspired by Star Fox, inspired by Outlaw Star, inspired by like Trigun, stuff like that. I think it was definitely negative 320. That sounds totally correct. I don't fucking believe you. I don't believe anything you say because you are all monsters and you know it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, sci-fi stuff. Sci-fi stuff. So you're a demon. That is true. That is true. I should have known better, frankly. Tegan says, I don't know anything. You know, you say that, Tegan, but also you just kind of have that knowing look in your eye. And I should probably also fix my daggers since they're so low. It's part of my charm. It is. It is part of your charm. I won't deny that. Anyway, so, for those who do not understand the words that I am using, an odd-like refers to a game that bases the mechanics off of Chris Bastionland's, Mr. Bastionland, wrote a game called Into the Odd. It is an OSR-style game where you go into dangerous places in search of loot, and it is low numbers, so it is highly lethal, and you will most likely be rolling up a new little guy every other dungeon simply because the chances of them surviving is not very high. Into the Odd went for a European sort of fantastical steampunk era vibe. The electric in it is for the fact that electricity exists, and as such, it's a lot of like late Victorian era mechanical stuff that you're finding and using. The gimmick is that there are only 3 stats. You want to roll under your stat to succeed. You only have 10 slots in your inventory, and you are primarily meant to use things that you find during your adventures to quote-unquote advance your characters. No levels. HP only goes up in very specific situations. And it's meant to be a game where you play with the same group, but over time, you lose characters quickly enough, and character creation is all roll tables. You have tables, you roll on them, you get some stuff to start off with, and they're called failed careers, is your backgrounds, to give you a vibe of what your character is supposed to be, and you just go. I am very fond of odd likes. I love odd likes myself. So that is what I am working on. Only this one is going to be in space, and it's going to have furries. It is a project that I am trying to have restraint in, because I could spend literally the rest of my life trying to perfect the perfect game rules and never actually play anything. So I am trying to limit what I put into it so I can focus on getting it to a table to play. Most of it is just reusing the writing. Have you ever looked at Burning Wheel? So here's the thing about Burning Wheel, right? This is not really common knowledge now, but there are very good reasons why we do not give the Burning Wheel man money. Mr. Crane allegedly did uncomfortable things to a player during a game that was live, and then proceeded to corncob the shit out of himself when receiving pushback from the person who I'm trying to be careful of my words here, because I'm half remembering the events of what actually happened. This was back in like 2019, right? Basically, Mr. Burning Wheel Man corncobbed himself out of the industry entirely. He very quickly made his name radioactive, and to my knowledge, has never apologized for his actions, despite being told to his face that what he did hurt someone and was harmful. It brought up a bunch of discussions about the logistics and the responsibility of actual play runners to their players when there is an audience watching them, and also it led to a much wider acceptance of protective game tools to prevent instances like that from happening. It was bad. There was a Kickstarter project. I don't even recall what the point was, but essentially it was meant to be a big collaboration between a whole bunch of authors, and it didn't happen because the guy who ran it invited Luke to join and then made the list of people who joined reverse alphabetical so that his name would be way near the bottom where fewer people would read it. It was like very obvious they invited him but knew that he was a persona non grata, and so didn't inform any of the other people who were on the project that he was there. And once it became public knowledge, because like if the Kickstarter out and people were reading it like, why are these names in reverse alphabetical knowledge? And they scroll down to the C's and there's Crane, Luke. And everyone's like, I see. So half the people who were going to be on the project immediately pulled out because on the one hand, they would not have agreed to work with this guy because of, he's a persona non grata and he's never apologized for the harm he did. But secondly, because it was obvious from the organizers' perspective that they knew that inviting him was going to cause problems and just chose not to inform anyone else in the project. Like they wanted it to slide under the radar. So to actually answer your question, Rocky, Burning Wheel is one of those games that a lot of people are like, yeah, this was like really big in the OSR circles during a certain period, and the mechanics of that game definitely flavored how designers around that era made their own games. I have never owned a copy of Burning Wheel, and it's not something that I've really considered looking at, specifically because of all the drama that happened around the guy who wrote it. I don't want to make a direct parallel because there's like large differences between the harms caused by Luke Crane, allegedly, and people like Zach S, allegedly. But it's similar to like Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Lamentations of the Flame Princess was like the darling in OSR circles for decades. For a decade, rather, I should misspeak. To the point where, like, he got a role working with Mike Mearls on crafting 5th edition, the original book for 5th edition, to appeal to the OSR crowd, who they were hoping to court back with 5th edition. Like, Zach Sabbath, was listed as a contributor to the original Player's Handbook for 5th edition for that reason, because the other games he worked on was so prolific in the markets that D&D wanted to recapture. I don't own a copy of Flame Princess. I have no interest in getting a copy of Flame Princess. Just, you know, shrugged at the camera, you know? There are some things that, if you're there to experience them, you're like, I just don't want to be involved in this. My interest in gaming history, of course, means that I probably should track down a copy and at least skim it, you know? But it's not something I've really actually, like, sought out. I'm trying to think if there was anything else tangentially related to that I could bring up for the interest. No, those are the big names. And I can't say much more about Zach S without actually running myself into the risk of being sued. Zach S, this is public knowledge, so like this isn't demeaning, is notorious for suing people who speak ill of him on the internet. Specifically around the events that may or may not have happened in, I want to say 2017 and 2018. So, any more details about that event I shouldn't say out loud of what I think I know, because I was not present. I've only heard hearsay. But, like, just because of that, like, there's a real danger in speaking out too loudly about some of these events, because some of them can be construed as being demeaning or defaming, and then people will get lawyers involved. And I couldn't afford to pay for my puppy dog surgery, much less a lawyer. So, you know. Next donation goal, lads. Next donation goal. Oh, no. Oh, no. I spoke about Root Ring a little bit. I spoke about the old internet a little bit. Gotta could use a lawyer on retainer, I think. Why? Do you think I say things that are legally questionable? Rocky, is that what you think of me? That could be fun. Just have a lawyer on call being like, hey man, gotta get a lawyer friend. Listen, I have a hard enough time making friends as it is, like IRL. I actually posted about this on Blue Sky just yesterday, I think. About how, like, sometimes I imagine what it would be like to actually interact face-to-face with some of the people who I consider to be my colleagues in TTRPG spaces. And I'm like, haha, wow, no, that can't happen. We can't let that happen. Jesus fucking Christ. Absolutely not. Rocky says, I just think you want to say things that are legally challengeable. True, true. Tegan says, after my master's, what if I went to law school? Tegan, you should not go to law school to become my lawyer friend. I think you should go to law school only if you want to become a lawyer. And if you happen to still be my friend once you graduate, that'll just be a happy coincidence and nothing I planned. I saw a trend of people taking the LSAT for kicks. Oh yeah? I mean, I guess, why not? The government's on fire. There's a bounce house outside the White House. Like, at some point, a law degree is going to be hardly worth the paper it's printed on. Nope, more shit just showed up. Oh, this is not... I hit the wrong button. I thought I had my weapons out. I was just smacking at them with cobblestone. Alright. Frog's down. Knight's still up. Knight's down. I did it, everyone. We could make a D&D filming studio in Haytail and get Gaia to run a TTRPG in there to make the goal for this high enough for lawyer retainer. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. That would be so funny, actually. I don't know if we'd have to figure out if anyone's made like a dice, like a die game, like a die mod. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Rocky said, I'm not going to be a blood doctor. I made a blood vow. What does that mean? What the actual fuck does that mean, Rocky? New goal. Gotta take a shower off stream. Stinky. I mean, my wife would definitely be like, please send money to that. Please send money. I'll be honest with you. I'm a take a shower every other day kind of guy. And Jessica is a take a shower at least once, if not twice a day kind of girl. Like, she loves that shower. I'm like, if I can get by a day without doing it, I will. So constantly she's like, please, please, God. I'm like, no, I'm not wasting. I'm perfectly clean. It's fine. She's like, Gotta, please. So she would support you in that. She'd probably be like, yes, I believe this should be the next goal. I will tell you, Tegan, and I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse for the money you've donated, but I am telling my wife that she is now allowed to get Chipotle for herself on the way home. Yeah, Chipotle. All right, she has been informed. What printer ink do I use? My wife just sent me a picture of an HP XL Black. What if you got Chinese instead? That's a good point. No, I use 65 XLs, not 67. That's a shame. We could have gotten some free ink. Sadly, no on the ink. We use 65s. I'll float that by her once. Fair enough, fair enough. I'll float that by her eventually. She asked for Chipotle earlier, and I had to use the gun emoji and say, no, we cannot afford Chipotle right now. She goes, please. I'm like, no. One moment, everyone. Press this button, press this button. All right. I sweat when it's cold. That's bullshit. That is bullshit, actually. Is it night? It just didn't want me to sleep for some reason. My medication makes it so that I cannot internally adjust my temperature, so I have to be very careful, especially during hot days, to be aware of like what my body is doing, because my body will not naturally like fix itself when it's too warm, which is a shame. I still sweat and stuff, but my body has a hard time actually like following through, I guess. It's a whole thing. Fucking bullshit. Human bodies are bullshit, honestly. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Just a bunch of... This squirrel's been down here for so long. I'm sorry, little guy. I can't help you. There's literally nothing I can currently do. Figure out how to climb ladders, man. That's all I got. Every day I'm reminded that I'm blessed to be warm. When it gets too hot, my beautiful wife says, cuddle me, and I'll go to cuddle her, and she goes, ew, no, you're too warm, go away. And then she'll be like, but I want cuddles, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm doing my best. She goes, So sometimes we'll just, like, extend our pinkies and tap the tips of our pinkies together, and that's how we cuddle during the hot nights. It's like, I love you, but please go away. Please don't touch me right now. Everyone in chat talking about their personal body temperatures. Yo, wait, says Rocky. Yes, Rocky. How can I help? What can I do for you, Mr. Hardington? Hello? Hello? Huh? What happened? A fog came through, and my entire world was nothing but white. Did I die and go to heaven? What? No, just a fog came through and it completely whited out my screen. I've never experienced that. That was so weird. That was wild. I thought I was being sent to the pearly gates. What the fuck, man? Oh, I pissed off a religious person the other day by complete accident. I was talking to my coworker, and we had someone come up, and we were assisting them. Now, mind you, when I say someone came up, I mean another person who also works for my business. Well, for the same business as me, right? But they're not a coworker because they're a different department, right? So they come up, and we're assisting them. And I was joking with my coworker about how we have to do something. I forget what the phrase of it was, but it was like, if we don't convince other people that we are X, or like that we're cool or whatever, right? We'll never balance our karma, and we'll never be allowed to see the light of heaven. Now, the joke is that Buddhism and Christianity are not the same thing. And karma has nothing to do with whether or not you see the light of heaven in the Judeo faith. That was the joke that my coworker laughed at, that I said on purpose. The person who came up heard me incorrectly describe how one gets to heaven and got very upset. Even after I explained to them, I'm like, the joke was that I purposefully got it wrong. I was joking that the joke was that I, in this scenario, misunderstood the difference between Christianity and Buddhism, and so I was mixing up the beliefs for comedy's sake. And they were like, "Well, that's not how you get to heaven. That's not how any of that works. You can't do that." And I'm like, "Buddy, fucking chill." My coworker was trying not to lose their shit laughing out of like frame of where the guy could see them. It isn't? No, karma has nothing to do with whether or not St. Peter lets you in the Golden Gates. Or Pearly Gates, rather. The Golden Gates is the bridge and or McDonald's. No, that's the Golden Arches. I'm still wrong. I don't feel my best. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a goofy, silly guy on a normal day, right? Feeling a little under the weather makes me even more scatterbrained than usual. The way to heaven is through San Francisco. Gotta probably. Hey, maybe we shouldn't have a public statement of me saying the way to heaven involves a bridge. Maybe, for legal purposes, we shouldn't be spreading that one around. That has some or maybe a McDonald's? I don't know. Did y'all see Super Size Me? It's not quick, but it's definitely a way. I cannot believe that Twitch streamer and tabletop role-playing designer Farmer Derek St. Pierre Gata streamed, quote, hole and said people should jump off bridges to go to heaven. I can't believe he did that. We should warn all our friends about him so there's no chance of them showing up in any of his communities. Oh, hi, Toffee baby. Hi. Did you hear someone saying libel about your father? This video can't exist anymore. Guys, I've been using my full game for TTRPG stuff. Like, on my blog, it's listed as being run by Derek, quote, Farmer Gata St. Pierre. Not using my name on stream is more of a bit at this point. Toffee, I need you to sit down, baby. Are you scared of the thunder? It's okay. Oh god, I'm all sweaty. Oh, you speak French now. Now hold on. Hold on. My last name is Canadian French, which means I am incredibly uncultured and know nothing of my history. I'm actually like a quarter Scottish. I'm like 3/4 Canadian French, and then 1/4 Scottish on my father's side. Down you go. Down you go. That's enough. Thank you, puppy. That's kind of French. Yeah. Oh, Gata, can you apply for Canadian citizenship? They wouldn't accept my wife. Toffee, no. They wouldn't accept my wife, for one. And second, my family came to the States too many generations back for me to claim anything. Pardon me. So unfortunately, no, I don't have a quick way out of the States. If I did, I would have used it by now. Quite frankly. No, they got rid of that. Oh, it might be Canada time for old Gata. Not that Canada's doing much better. Like, let's be honest. It's not like Canada's doing much better. Anyway. Another one of these fucking things. You sucked the joy out. You've all sucked the joy out. You bastards. What gets me is that you couldn't wait to spill the beans. You should have kept lying to me until at the end of the event when I finally got to the bottom and found them all. I would have firmly believed those chests were generating. I mean, says Tegan. Yeah, Tegan? You would have just been angrier. True. True. Do any of you know of a YouTuber called Radical Soda? He is an animator who does a lot of video game content, and he's very fucking funny. I like him very much. He's been hosting events where he makes like a Jeopardy quiz based on certain media and invites other YouTubers who are like interested in that media to partake and compete. but because he's an asshole, half the questions are like dumbass shit. I don't really know how to describe them, but Salty DK Dan, if you are aware of him, he has been in all but the first stream, the first event of that Radical Soda made, and very quickly has learned, the group have learned that Salty DK Dan has like a blood feud going on with the Pokemon Regirock. Radical Soda had one of the questions be like, where is this rock from? And it was in like a Sonic the Hedgehog quiz, and it was just Regirock's shoulder piece. And Salty DK Dan was like, that looks like Regirock, but that's not Sonic. I'm gonna guess Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. And Radical Soda was like, hey, actually, this is Regirock. How did he get here? You think Alex is watching this guy? Yeah, Tegan, you gotta watch these. He's done 2 Sonic ones, 2 Pokemon ones, and a Five Nights at Freddy's one. And they're all fucking hilarious because it's like Salty is like on a downward spiral mentally, hyper vigilant for when Rad is going to put Regirock in there, and he's only successfully managed to not get got by it once. It's very funny. It feels like a Farmer got a bit, if I could be so bold. It feels like something one of you fuckers would do to me, and that's why I bring it up. I need a drink and a lozenge for my throat. I'll be ending in like 20 minutes, just so you guys know. That'll make it a solid 4 hours. Which I think... Or no, sorry, solid 3 hours. Yeah, I was real sick last week. You said that an hour ago. Sick and still trying to dig. Oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. I'm just so excited by all the progress we're making. I didn't bring any ladders. If I make too much more progress, it's gonna be a bad time for me. That means we might have another week or whatever to get $350. Yeah, every week that I don't stream and progress on this fucking hole, it's time for you assholes to get more money. If I can manage to get to the bottom of this before you guys donate all the cash, then I might be able to avoid this fucking cube. It's the only thing keeping me sane right now, the hope that if I simply work harder, the universe will reward me. It hasn't worked for anything else thus far, but this time, guys, I've got a feeling. Woo-hoo, that tonight's gonna be a good night. Gotta love block game, and Gotta won't be allowed to play block game. I was the one person in this server the most excited to get onto Hytale and play Hytale. I have made the least amount of progress compared to anyone else. I haven't explored shit. I haven't seen a dinosaur. I haven't, like, raided a keep. I haven't upgraded my materials past, like, fucking copper. You're the whole reason we're... Exactly. And situations conspire to prevent me. Everyone else is like tier 3 alchemy benches. Yeah, y'all are being wizards, and I'm over here like digging a hole. It's been months. So maybe, if I can get to the bottom of this before y'all give me any more money, I might be able to actually play this fucking game. Gotta, you might be having the most fun. Gotta's like, the situations, they prevent me, and we all watch Gotta put himself in the situations. Isn't that the fucking truth, though? Nothing that I have ever suffered has been from anything but my own choices. Oh my god. But it's fun to watch me complain about it, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Oh yeah, totally. It's hilarious. I'm glad. I'm so glad. The one time I started to actually make some progress by going into the northern area to like get more stuff, I ended up having to have Rocky come to me to give me some of the ore I was looking for because I was having a hard time finding it. Gata, you'd be amazing on the Truman Show, I think. I've never seen it. Well, thank you, but also that's a terribly horrific thing for you to say. This menthol lozenge is doing its job. I can feel it behind my eyeballs. That's how you know it's a good one. There is a coworker at my job who is a Chinese immigrant. He and his family came from China, and he's established himself in the U.S. He's doing very good here. He heard that one of my other coworkers was feeling under the weather. And she was like, yeah, I've been using these lozenges, these cough drops, and they only do so much. And he looks at her and says, hold on, I have something for you. And he comes back with what looks to be like a hard candy in a nondescript scrap of paper. And he says, this is a cough drop that I buy from China. And maybe it will help you. And so she's like, oh, well, that's really sweet of you. Yeah, I'll try it. She pops it in. And she's like, holy fuck. Like, she had a spiritual experience. Her entire body, like cold fire went through it. Her sinuses cleared immediately. Her throat widened, like, wider than it was before she was sick. And she's like, what is in that? It works so well. And my coworker, my immigrant coworker, gets this shit-eating grin, and he's like, "America has too many regulations," and he walks away. Why is it spicy? Yeah, exactly. So she ate the whole thing, and she's like, "I have never ever experienced such a jolt to my system before. It worked like a charm." And so she was like, you gotta try this. Ask him if he has one for you. And I'm like, I don't know if I have the stomach for that, either like mentally or physically, because Jesus Christ. It was like her whole body was lifted off the ground and levitating for a moment. Do it on stream though? Lol. Pardon me. Sorry, little guy. Sorry, little guy. Sorry, little guy. Sorry, little guy. I'm just mining here. I ain't doing shit, and this squirrel just keeps running in front of me. Literally stop. Please. I'm begging you. Just go somewhere else. I'm working. I'm mining here. What level am I actually at? It's F8, I think? No, it's F7. I have dug down 2 levels. Well, at this rate, I should be able to reach the bottom in one more full day stream. Because it's been 3 hours. I spent most of that digging down. I've been like an hour going down 2 levels. So if I spend 8 hours for approximately 16 levels, ignoring like shenanigans, yeah, one more 8-hour stream should be enough to reach what we think is bedrock. Fingers fucking crossed. Boomer says, I have a meme to send you, Gata. I am terrified of what that could be. The other day, the concept of my gender came up in a group chat. And in particular, it came up in a group chat with a bunch of other TTRPG people that hang out in the same space. This is in Warren Prismatic Wastelands server. Someone, taking a total guess, I'm not upset by it, assumed... Oh my god, Tegan. You just
Farmer 105 got up faster.
Thank you for 15 months. You get a jolly jangle of the cheer bell. Thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you so much. But yes, my gender came up in conversation in Warren's server. The panic in your voice was real. I was like, please, Tegan. Tegan, no. Tegan, please. Wait, what did I miss about French? Don't ask questions. One of the people in there took a shot in the dark and guessed that I am a grungler, that I am a man who exists in servers with a bunch of trans women, not as someone to crack, but as sort of like the, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just there to round out the cast, you know? And I had to tell them, like, hey, so there's, my server is not a grungler server. I am one of the trans, actually. My gender is under question at times. It is not what you assume. I am not a grungler. But thank you for assuming that I am a non-threatening white man that the trans women flock to. That is actually very sweet of you to assume. So people were like, wait, what? Oh, okay. And specifically Jay Dragon, who's in that group, said, I have never once considered your gender, Gata. You are just farmer flavored to me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, they look at me and just go, that's a Gata. Anything beyond that, I have no opinions on. They are just a little gremlin who exists in the same servers as I do. And I had to explain to them... Oh, hello? No. I had to explain to them that I am gender fluid, but Farmer Gata is consistently cis-coded because I can't afford to draw any art with them with boobs. So... there we go. The F stands for farmer. I joked that my pronouns are farmer, and that got a lot of laughs. Oh, okay, hold on. I would love a double jump in this game. The boobs cost extra. Yeah, you can't just slap them on, you know? Many such cases. You can't just slap them on. You know, I have like the overalls going on. Like, I would have to redo the entire art. Mana, oh my god, what? Is Mana watching stream and posting about it on Discord? Mana says MTF stands for male to farmer. Male to from male to farmer, from farmer to table. Boobs do cost more. It's true. It's true. All right. Let's empty some shit out. There we go. That makes me feel a little better. Clear all this away. Oops. I want to get into my backpack to take all this volcanic cobble out. There we go. I laughed so hard I scared Pepper and she barked. Well. Mana, how does it feel to be the funniest person lurking? There we go. Oh, I didn't grab ladders while I was up there. God, I'm stupid. Hey, Dragon Dude, 111111111. Thank you for. Well, that's probably for the right. All right. All right. Thank you for the follow. You get a jolly jangle of the cheer bell. Thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you so much. All right. It's still not nighttime yet. What the fuck? All right. Do I have any? All right. I do have some leather started. Can I craft any fix-em-ups? Oh, I can craft at least 4? I have a lot of iron. It's the leather that I'm running out of. Okay, I see, I see. You get as many cheer bells as there are ones in the name. We're not gonna promise that. I can't promise that. Don't make me. All right. I have 29 in-game minutes before I can go to sleep. Oh well. Ooh, big stretch. A big stretch. Toffee has settled back down. With her cone, it's kind of hard for her to curl up. But it's only for a couple of weeks. She'll feel better soon. Let me check my phone real quick. Okay. My beautiful wife has been having a day. They lost all internet access at their practice yesterday, which is a problem because of how much of their job involves sending and receiving like emails and shit. So, and of course, processing payments requires the internet. So today has just been them doing catch up on all of the stuff they could not accomplish yesterday. So she's been kind of going through it. All right, let's take a hippity hop down. Well, a hippity hop more like a fall. All right, down we go. Hello, squirrel. Back to work we go. Oh shit, a bunch of gift subs. Dragon donated gift subs to 2 viewers. Thank you so much, Dragon. That is so sweet of you. You get another jolly jangle of the cheer bell. Thank you. And unfortunately, my subs tracker appears to not be working. That should be at 8 out of 20 subs. I will have to figure out how that works. Who got one? Did Eternity Bliss get one? Good for you, man. Good for you. Enjoy using my emotes. Eternity and Circuit. Wonderful. Congratulations, guys. And thank you so much, Dragon, for being so generous. That's really sweet of you. Dragon was like, I did. Different dragon. Different dragon. Dragon Dude is going to earn as many cheer bells as there are ones. Thank you again, Dragon Dude. It's very sweet of you. What were we talking about before I had to run upstairs? I think I finished talking about my gender or whatever. For the doggo, I greatly appreciate it. Toffee has been through the surgery as of a day before yesterday, and she is currently in recovery. She has a cone on. She's high on meds, but she's going to recover just fine. She just needs to rest a lot. Yes, more treats. Honestly, with her weight being low, more treats are, in fact, in her future. Now, if she would just stop jumping up and down off things on her own and risk straining her stitches, everything would be perfect and fine. Ah. All right. I'll show you pictures of Toffee. Hang on. Let me get my feet out of the shot. Hold on, Toffee. They want to see your adorable little face. Let me turn the light on. There we go. And then grab the camera. Here's the baby. Here's the baby. She has the cone on. She's a little cone dog. Oh, wait, no, come back. They want to see her face. Here, back up a little bit. I guess that'll do. Hi, sweetheart. Here she is, the most precious girl in the world. She's such a good little girl, and I love her so much. Hi, baby. She's a daddy's girl, through and through. When we came to pick her up, she heard me from like rooms away and started screaming. Because like dogs will bark and dogs will howl, but when a dog is like really like, nope, here's my feet, got my feet for free. Toffee. Oh shit. Well, okay. Here, let's do this. Hi, Toffee girl. She says, Dad, why aren't you holding me? Why are you not doing anything that isn't holding me? Little tail going. My good baby. All right, let me put this down. Put this down and I'll give you some pets, I promise. I just gotta turn this off real quick. Okay, good girl. I love you. I do, my baby. All right, go lie down, puppy. Thank you. Yeah, the surgery went well. Yippee! The surgery went good. She just has to recover. Thank you again to everyone for being so generous. Now. You settle down. You settle down. We're gonna nap after this, I promise. If I can just clear this out... Well, no, it's about time for me to say goodbye, actually. Someone distract me so I just keep streaming for a bit longer. Quickly, chop, chop. My patience is fading. I have a very delicious buffalo chicken bake that I made the other day. Well, yesterday. What haven't you talked about? Oof. I mean, I've kind of covered a lot of stuff, I'll be honest with you. Digimon? Nothing really Digimon related happening, other than the show is still good. Beat Break is still good. They've released the Vidramon statue images for the Real Data collection, which they're like $120 each, but they're so fucking beautiful. So I'm like, ooh, but what if? But what if? Any other anime? Beautiful Wife really wants to watch Witch Hat Atelier. Did you already talk about the Legos? Nothing new is happening in Lego World. I have a package of Legos that I bought 2 months ago that still hasn't shown up. It's one of the sets that I need for my Knights Kingdom collection. And the owner is someone who I know who just has been having a really rough time getting the packages to the post office. So I'm trying not to be impatient, but I'm also like, come on, man. Come on. And all of my money this month, all my fun money, went to backing the new Zoologist Primer, as well as the new Break Kickstarter, and those just came out. So, like, this entire month, I've been sitting on my hands being like, don't spend more money. Don't spend more money. Oh, right, the bricks and minifigs controversy. I have been informed that there are things that I have missed about that I do not feel comfortable talking about until I have caught up. Apparently, the Mormon Church is now involved. Bricks and Minifigs is not officially attached to Lego. They are a resale store. You bring in your Legos, they buy them from you, and then they sell them back to other people. That is how it works. And Apparently, this 80-year-old guy who had been collecting Star Wars Legos since they first came out 30 years ago, had what was considered one of the largest private collections of Lego Star Wars in existence. He'd been buying them for decades, leaving them sealed and just keeping them. So it was estimated to be worth about $200,000. His son took them to Bricks and Minifigures, and Bricks and Minifigs was like, well, we can't buy these all in batch. We can't just give you $200,000 because we're a franchise, but we can have them on. We can sell them on consignment. So we'll write a contract, a legally binding contract, that we are taking this collection to sell for you. 65% of that money will go to you, and the rest will go to the Bricks and Minifigs location to complete the sale. And the guy signed it, and the owner signed it, and everything was fine. Well, the owner of that particular Bricks and Minifigs, for whatever reason, was going to move out of country. So they informed the franchise, like, hey, I'm planning on moving. Is there anyone you know who'd want to buy the store from me to, like, take it over so it remains as part of Bricks and Minifigs? Because there's still a bunch of merchandise here that I'm responsible for, but I want out. The new owner came in and refused. There is footage, actually, of the previous owner saying straight up, like, this is what is our merchandise. This is what is on consignment. Here's all the paperwork for the consignment stuff. And the new owner said, that's no longer your problem. We're buying the place in its totality. It's our responsibility now. Well, the guy goes to talk to the new owner to be like, hey, I haven't been receiving any money. What's up with all the stuff that you have on consignment? And they said, oh, well, that's ours now. We bought it, so no. And the guy's like, I have this legal document stating what the agreement between us and the previous owner was. And the new owner's like, well, no, it's not here anymore. It's gone. So they stole this guy's Lego, essentially. And apparently things have gotten so much worse since. It's no longer just one guy saying, I have this document, he took my Lego, and this other guy saying, I bought this place, it's my Lego. Apparently it's a whole conspiracy now. So I'll have to, like, look into that and see how much of that is actually, like, legit. Because it seemed pretty fucking open and shut to me if they took Bricks and Minifigs to court. Until it gets sorted out, I'm definitely not giving that company my money, which sucks. It's like the store for used Lego. If you find a Bricks and Minifigs, you can probably find a good deal on some vintage stuff. But it's not like I'm buying Lego for myself right now anyway. I already have so much that I'm trying to flip. I did have a bunch of Adventure Time Lego from the Lego Dimensions line when they had that video game, that Toys to Life video game. Someone at a local swap was getting rid of a bunch of Lego, and I just nabbed it all up. And a lot of it were the bespoke minifigures for that Toys to Life game, and they were all in good condition. I had Finn the human, Jake the dog. There was a lumpy space princess. There was some vehicles. There was a big BMO mech. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I haven't seen these around in a long time. How much are they worth? I just sold the entire collection for $90. So that was fun. I also had received some Harry Potter stuff that I've managed to flip. I don't go out of my way to, like, buy Lego for the purpose of reselling it, but I do sometimes find myself, because, like, people in my circle, like, know that, like, God is into Lego. So when they get access to cheap Lego, they're like, maybe he'll like this, and they'll give it to me. So that and Pokemon cards. I have been selling Pokemon cards, not a lot, just one here or there. Pop it in an envelope, send it out, get $1 or $2 on eBay. One time I sold a Mewtwo card for like $20, and I got that for completely free from, like, some kid's collection after he outgrew collecting them. He's like, I don't want Pokemon cards anymore, here you are. I'm like, okay. So it's a nice little slow, stable stream of an extra income. Granted, I then go out and buy the blind boxes. So, like, I immediately use that money to just get more Lego. So it's whatever. I still haven't gotten the Bionicle Tahu minifig from the most recent CMF collection. It's not actually Tahu. It's a cosplayer for Tahu, the Bionicle character. But it looks really good, and if you swap the head out with like a transparent piece, it looks like the best minifig version of a Bionicle they've ever made. Hopefully they make some for the rest of the main cast. I would honestly love to see them do that. I've gotten the Elf Princess with a unicorn, and I've gotten the Scuba Diver. And both of those are figures that I didn't necessarily think I wanted, per se. I do have a relatively complete collection of the medieval minifigure stuff. And my dream is to have a display where I have my Knights Kingdom stuff in the center, and then I have smaller builds for each of the individual medieval characters. So it's like they're all part of the same kingdom, but that's a long way out. So getting the Elf Unicorn Princess now instead of trying to buy her secondhand years from now when she's twice expensive is probably the smart thing for me to do. My local stores have started to get wise to the fact that, like, CMFs are hot shit. How's my sore throat now? After that lozenge, it's getting better. I'm gonna finish up this. Best Bonkle. So, when I was a kid, I forget his name, but the Bonkle that I thought was the coolest was the Ice Bonkle, the white one, because he had, like, a shield and a sword. I thought that was really cool. Had, like, a radar shield. I really have a better appreciation for the Bonkle that people think of the least, Pohatu, the brown earth Bionicle, or the dirt Bionicle, I guess. It's weird, because, like, Anua is low-key the earth Bionicle, he's a miner, but Pohatu is, like, the desert mesa Bionicle, and I like him a whole lot. He's really hard to get a hold of now, though, because, like, he's made in the old brown, so they never really made, like, replacement parts past his initial release, which is a damn shame. He also comes with a Rock Raider boulder he can kick like a soccer ball, and I think that's cool. I don't really have an interest in Bionicle outside of maybe the first two waves, but I've never really seen a lot set that made me think, oh, I'm going to spend my money and get these Bionicles now, you know? All right. So with that, that's the wrong button entirely. We are at Y level 9. Which means, arguably, we should be able to reach Y level 0 by next stream if I'm doing at least 2, maybe 3 levels an hour. We've gotten some decent progress done. We've managed to dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers in 3 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. With that out of the way, I'm going to go take a nippy nap. I'm going to get some food in me. Then I'm going to go take a sleep. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you again so much for being so fucking gracious. Every last one of you have really made this fantastic. Have a good sleep, Gata. Thank you so much. I will see you guys next Thursday, and God willing, I will be feeling much better. Until then, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.